Hello, everyone.
Woo!
How are we doing here this very patriotic Thursday, June 26th, 2025? It's June 26th, our Independence Day. Devin, I
Yes.
think you have more information about this glorious day. Why don't you
Well,
head us
first we
off?
need to lead off with we're going to be all singing "America the Beautiful," starting with you, Ethan. You have the first couple verses, which are because you're so
Absolutely.
patriotic.
Let me just chat GTP nonsense words.
PPT.
It's all PP to me.
You don't know
Yes.
"Oh Beautiful" first basis skies for Ember
No.
waves of grain.
Mm-mm.
I
Nope.
just remembered I like all my Boy Scout like songs that we sung were like just all that like patriotic stuff, and like I remember all the melodies, but like I my brain has been slowly deleting it like a computer, like I have a CC cleaner thing going on in my brain that's
Oh, by the way,
constantly going through it,
I
but I still remember a lot
downloaded
of the
that
melodies.
program. Sorry to cut you off and talk over you. I
Yes.
downloaded that program yesterday to help clear out some cache stuff. It's not called CC Cleaner. It's just C Cleaner. Everyone calls it
CC
CC
cleaner, bro.
Cleaner because there's two C's.
And that's why we're here, folks. We're going to be cleaning the streets
Hey,
of this
it
map.
it did me a whole solid and emptied my recycling bin for me. I'm like, I could have done that
Wow.
myself.
Nice.
We saved
I
you
used it at
500 gigabytes. I'm like, okay, I'm sure all of that was still
500? No way.
I'm sure if you were to,
500
unrecycle it
gigabytes on
and
your
expand it
computer?
back out, that's how much all of those
I mean, if you've
files
never
were.
used it, if you
But
never used it
Jesus.
before, I could see it being 500 because I had like 15 on my work computer the other day. Um, regardless, yeah, folks, welcome to. And Ethan, I did check the audio. We're good. I will check
I
again
see
in
the
30
levels,
minutes.
so my computer would be lying to me if we weren't actually audible. So
It's happened before.
It's 7
no,
4.
it hasn't lied to me. I just didn't look. That's the difference. It was my fault for not looking.
Folks, welcome to 4th of July trivia parentheses conquest, but for the YouTube title, we didn't put the parentheses in there. It'd be kind of confusing. But this is a 4th of July trivia game show. This is like our fourth one now, I think, of a kind of a labyrinth, a slightly RPG elements trivia thing that I created that was just based off another thing that Ethan did before that. But basically, our folks here, Ethan and David, are put to the test in a kind of thematic categories where they have to either do a task or whatnot, but they have to go through some questions and there's items they can pick up and whatnot. And there's some lore behind this. All right. There's some big lore, very important lore. So much lore that, like we mentioned, the audio was muted on the last one where I was explaining a lot of it. So, but this time we won't forget. We won't miss any context. So the context is, though, in case you've missed all the other ones, this is your first time watching, you came in here like, who are these people? Why are they talking? What the hell is 4th of July trivia conquest? Long story short, this all started when Ethan and David saved Christmas. They went through a literal maze slash labyrinth where they answered Christmas related questions, and they also fought evil Santa and they saved Christmas. And then eventually the Easter Bunny hit them up to help them save Easter
Never
back in
trusted
Easter
that guy.
time. And they had to go find 4 eggs to save Easter to give to the townsfolk on the other side of the maze. But unfortunately, the Easter Bunny was actually Satan himself. And with the 4 eggs, Satan created the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And now we're here, I guess, for the sake of setting a scene. You're on the face
So
of
right
a
now,
mountain. You're on the face of a mountain looking up.
oh,
All right. And we have our first horseman here. And people who've read the Bible know that the first horseman is Conquest, who rides a white horse and has a bow and arrow. Some people argue that it's like a mockery of Jesus. Some people say it's just some old guy. People say, for in the sake of this, it's just a stock archer in roll 20. But the first horseman of the apocalypse is here, and basically this is the start of their journey to try to save the world. Now they've saved Christmas, they kind of saved Easter, but not
yeah,
really. But now they're here to
kind
save the
of.
worlds.
They're kind
And
of
they
one
just
and one. Did a
Yeah.
good thing, did a bad thing.
Right.
So now you're like neutral.
So we got to start racking up some good deeds here.
Yes,
Otherwise, next
and-
Christmas we're gonna get coal.
Yeah, you're gonna get coal. Santa will not be happy. But luckily for you, folks, I keep saying folks when it's just Ethan and David. Chat, you're not involved, but you can comment. You can comment. You can guess with them.
Yeah,
But there is,
PPT.
the first game was the Christmas one was actually a little too easy for them, and I tried to make it a little bit harder, but not too hard. And then last time, I feel like it was right in the sweet spot. Generally, there were some moments where it got intense, but other moments where they kicked ass. I tried to compensate again, so we'll see.
It's just a pendulum swinging left and right between too easy and like you purposely trying to just make our lives miserable.
No, but this time you may notice that there is, the 3 squares down there. We have, you have the recharge plate, the same as before. So I guess you should start with the main rules. Basically, Ethan and David have 3 lives each, but they're working as a unit, and they have to answer questions. And these colors on the screen are different plates that they can step on, and they can preview the question. But to move on, they either have to answer it correctly or incorrectly. If they answer it incorrectly, they lose a life. But whoever's answering the question loses that life. So they can kind of meta game it a little bit, where we like, oh, David's going to answer this question because he has 3 lives. Ethan has 1, for example. He will answer the question, but they can discuss freely about what they think the answer is, unless stated otherwise. Or if one of them does get the 0, they're considered dead, and they can't participate in the game. So then the other person is by themselves, and they can only resurrect them through either an item or a recharge plate.
And these are just examples. These ones here aren't actual.
Yes. And just for this game, for this session, there is a new thing that they can find and interact with called a firework, which will be represented by the orange square. And basically the orange square, the firework is, when you go to it, you activate it and it will shoot towards a direction, unlocking something on the map. I'll just kind of loosely give you that. But yeah, so they're going to be going through this maze. They don't know how many, like what the path is. That's why it's black on the screen. I can see that, but I'll be revealing it as they go along. And so there's potential different ways they can go through this, but this is the one that's a little bit different. Instead of them trying to get to the center like the first one, they're trying to get to the top, which is to go fight in defeat Conquest, the first horseman of the apocalypse. And looks like he's waiting there for you guys.
Yeah, there's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
I know.
But to start their journey, someone luckily left them the choice out of these 3 items, which you should have in your items tab there if you want to go through one at a time.
These items are freaking sick.
So there's the patriotic lighter from 7-Eleven is one of the options, which it says we lit, burns 1 possible answer, has 3 uses. So that means it can be used theoretically in 1 question.
Sure.
Next one is Martin Brody's searchlight from the movie Jaws. Do you see what I see? Reveals a visible 3x3 square, 1 use. David loves these. I had to throw one in there for him.
I love these. It's gonna be hard to take this baby.
Never will be as good as the accidental 9x9.
Yes.
But the next one seems refreshing, so we'll see.
Yes. An ice cold Genesee beer. Take it easy. Roll a D4 for a new Rochester related question. It has 2 uses.
I mean, I love that.
So, we're all from Rochester, New York originally.
Yeah.
Genesee beer from
still
Rochester. So you both can pick one item of those three. So originally I was only gonna give you one, but I
Okay.
was like, I'm feeling nice. It's 4th of July weekend. You're partying with the
The
friends.
pendulum is
so-
already starting to swing back in the other direction. He's regretting some
He's
things.
getting nervous, folks. That means we're in for
Yeah.
a tough question here to start with.
David, why don't you
Um,
pick first, if you would like?
There is images, by the way, if you on
Yeah.
the one tab, Ethan. If you want to click it, I think it's in the
Yeah, I guess
handouts.
I think I'm gonna change it up, and I'm gonna get Martin Brody's Searchlight.
This is where I say
Searchlight.
I've never seen Jaws.
Searchlight.
Well, now's a good time because it's celebrating its 50th anniversary, and there's a 4K remaster on Peacock. Not a sponsor, but I did watch it
Whoa.
on Peacock.
I will never subscribe to Peacock, but I might watch it other ways. And now I have to pick between a very tacky lighter from 7-Eleven, apt,
Tacky. It's freaking sick.
sure, or
There was actually a couple great ones, and that's one I felt was
Really?
the most. Like
What is
I
it?
feel like I've seen
What does
this
it
one
say
before.
Yeah.
by
I think it's like the designer or
by,
whatever.
by
I don't know.
Messi, the soccer player. Whoa!
Yeah,
Didn't realize he was pro America like this. My choices are this tacky, or in David's words, sick lighter, or a gross non-Mexican beer. But I am from Rochester, so I guess I will take. I'll take
An ice cold Genesee beer.
That's right.
That has
that's
two
right.
uses.
Now I would have given you props if you made it a like a light beer. You know what I mean, like a Jenny Light. They make those. I think they make those, but All right, I'll take the beer. David's got the Searchlight.
You gotta get a Genesee Heavy.
Genesee. All right, so David has the Searchlight.
Yep.
And Ethan has the beer.
I'm gonna regret picking the beer because you're gonna ask like, "What's the name of this street?" I'm like, "I don't know."
No, it's Rochester questions. Everyone will know them. Maybe, I don't know.
Should I show this picture of Conquest, the
ready.
first horseman that you have?
Oh yeah, if you want to show him, he looks really cool. It's from a sick painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, it's small.
I had to crop him because
Mhm.
all the other horsemen are in it.
Oh,
And
I see.
I didn't
I
want
see.
to. I didn't want to confuse anyone. Okay, it's only one. He's waiting, and he's sitting at the top of this mountain here, and he's looking down at you, waiting for you
Sure.
guys.
All right, folks. I hope you read all of this because Devin is not going to repeat the rules unless he wants to.
And I'll say, so you're basically at the end of this mountain, and it looks like there's like ice walls like leading into this on the side there. That's what that silver is. So it's like ice,
What's the red?
lava, or
Oh.
patriotism. Yeah.
We're gonna die if we spend too much time here. It's gonna melt right through.
You can tell me
You
this
could
was a
probably
fortnight. The zone's
We
closing
should
in.
probably, Ethan. I think our first strategy, we have to stay near the ice walls because we want to make sure to keep your Genesee beer ice cold.
That makes sense because
We-
what good's
we
a
have to
warm
keep it
beer?
chilled.
You know what I mean?
We don't want it to warm up.
God, we've all
It would
we've
just
all
be-
gone to these 4th of July barbecues where like, hey, someone didn't put enough ice in the cooler, and now all the shit's warm.
Yeah, it's like what are we doing?
Or they put it
We
at the
loaded full
bottom.
thing with beer.
And then they don't actually like spread it out.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just
Oh
like the,
yeah.
it doesn't. People forget you got to
Hey,
put the ice on top. You got to put the ice on
This
top.
is a pro
Rookie
hack.
mistake.
I don't know if they do this anymore, but at one point, McDonald's in the summertime would sell big bags of ice. We're talking 10-pound bags of ice for $1.25, and they were all like
Dang.
separated. You didn't need to like drop the bag and break them up. They were all because I think they just came out of the ice machine.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do that.
smart.
You go camping. You pick it up on the way, literally there. It's perfect.
So we should have went when we were working at Kmart and they ran out of water.
I remember that.
Just straight up. They're like, yeah, we don't have any
Yeah.
water. It's like it's 90 degrees, 95 degrees outside.
Oh my
You
God.
can't keep me here.
And they're like, we went to Best Buy and bought like smart waters for like $7 because it's fucking
Oh
Best
my-
Buy. So
yeah.
literally an hour of work went to just surviving. But speaking of working, people have off on 4th of July, but you guys don't. So you guys gotta go and figure out which way you're going
You don't.
here. You just know you gotta go up.
Can
right
I
now.
ask a question? Are these two reds the same red?
If they are the same red.
Okay. Then I am with David on his
Okay.
assessment of Hug the left wall.
All right,
We
so
just keep going left. It's always the
that's
answer.
the strat. That's the strat.
Yeah.
All right, so this first question, if you want to answer it, we will see.
That's right. We don't have to commit.
You don't have to. You don't
Right,
have
right.
to.
One of these days, he'll swing the pendulum into being like, nope, even look at this question. You have to answer it.
Even
Don't
think
give me
about it.
ideas. Don't give me ideas. According to trafficsafetymarketing.gov, in 2023, 617 people died in traffic crashes on 4th of July. What percentage of those occurred in drunk driving crashes? A, 10%, B, 23%, C, 38%, D, 75%.
I was thinking maybe more around the lines of a quarter. The 23 does sound good, but that 38% is just like a weirdly juicy looking number to me.
I
Weird
feel like
juicy.
75 is looking
Really?
real meaty.
Well, okay, let's think for a second here. What other
Yeah.
possible ways could you die in an accident, and why would you be doing that? Like, obviously, people, they get in accidents in the
Yeah.
holidays because of the ice, and they're in a panic and a rush. We don't have that. It's 4th of July, right?
Fireworks going off in your car.
Heat
Bad
stroke
news.
causing you to pass out. That's kind of like
Could have
being
just
drunk.
been natural causes in the car.
Huh.
Does that count? Does that
Although-
count? I don't know.
I feel like
As long as the car crashes, right? It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Could you theoretically
think
die
I'm-
before?
I think the road has a
going
right to
back
defend
on my
itself.
answer.
So I don't know. The car is just
'Cause
fucked then.
I'm pretty sure actually drunk drivers survive more car crashes. It's the people they hit that die. But I guess that would also be included.
I think that would. I think when the
Yeah.
Corona says
It says
they
what
died
percentage
due to
those
a drunk car
occurred.
crash. I don't think it matters who's
It says
who.
those occurred in drunk driving crashes.
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
is kind of
Okay, great.
open-ended there, to be fair.
Okay.
I'm thinking 38, but if you're really strong in that 75
I'm not really strong in the 75. I'm not really strong.
or 70, whatever it was,
I'm like maybe 33% on a 75%.
But then part of me is also like, that 23%, because my first thought was, got to be a quarter. But I'm willing, you know what? The day is young. I'm going to step on this plate myself. I'm going to say, was it C, 38%?
C was 38. Are you locking that in?
I'm going to lock it, pop it, and don't talk to me about it.
Drop it, Ethan.
All right, Ethan. Well, you're the one who picked the beer earlier, so maybe you thought maybe you have a good inclination of drunk driving, perhaps. And it would be correct. It is 38%.
Wow.
You saw the
Great
juice,
job.
and you followed the juice, and you got that juice. So
I was the one
that's
chasing
correct.
OJ. You're right.
Let me remember how to do this. Hold on. Veal area, yes. Hopefully you can see.
Well,
Yes.
No, I see this. That's it.
Do you see?
I see a purple
see it.
square. All I see is the purple square.
Can you refresh?
Yeah, because I see everything.
Sure. Hopefully this doesn't show personal information.
No, shouldn't.
It's critically hitting right now.
Oh, now I
there we
see
go.
green.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Classic.
We'll just keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm on token. I was making sure I was on the right layer. All right. So there's now a purple one to your right and a green up ahead. And that is the same green as the one on the far right over there.
And folks, these colors so far in my life have correlated with similar question topics.
Ethan's just surrounded by these squares constantly. It's scary.
It's like the Tetris effect, but real. Like it could be crashes, it could be drunk driving, it could be anything related to that. But we haven't seen purple. Of course, we didn't listen to the other questions.
I'm kind of feeling staying left.
Yeah, green.
I mean, I don't know.
Now I have a question. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a silver strip to our left?
Yes. Sorry. Let me reveal that. Guess it makes sense to
Silver strip. Oh, I see.
Okay.
All right, that happened instantly. Luckily, okay.
So
I'm
maybe
watching
we
on
are on
Ethan's
the
end. I
edge.
just want to make sure. Yeah,
Because I didn't know if like, oh, what if it goes left a little bit here or something, you know? And I don't know. Yeah, I'm when we take a peek at green,
take a peek at
just
green.
a light little tap,
Little
Yeah.
tap.
or pinky toe.
a little poke.
All right. What state was the last to be admitted by the United States? A. Arizona. B. Hawaii. C. Alaska. D. North Dakota.
Like a trick
Definitely
question. It's
Hawaii or
Hawaii.
Alaska, right?
Well,
that
Alaska
Hawaii?
was 49 and Hawaii was 50.
There we go.
'Cause
Okay, I think it's just an easy one.
Lincoln bought Alaska, and then I feel like we just conquered Hawaii. I forgot how that happened, but we were just like, "Fuck you, ours," right?
They're like, welcome to the States.
Get used to it.
All right,
Even though you're nowhere near us.
You can make an argument
I'm
that's
gonna-
almost all the states, but
Well,
kinda-
there was nothing out here at the
trust
time.
Ethan here. I'm gonna step on the plate and say
Okay.
Hawaii.
all right. David's saying Hawaii. That is correct. Ethan's a true
Yeah.
patriot, knows his state
Yep.
history.
I feel like that's like 5th grade geography. Yeah, just
This might be a way of testing to make sure everyone was paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know.
okay.
I knew it was either Alaska or Hawaii. I did not know the order of those. I will say.
So green could be dumb questions, or it could be geography. Dumb as in like simple, not as in like.
Yeah, I feel like Devin would rationalize it like green is grass, grass is earth, earth is geography.
Sure.
Could just be like
Yeah.
grass is like just the norm, or green is like the normal color on like a map to represent land. But sure.
Yeah, same reasoning, really. I mean,
They have blue and red and purple on maps too.
he didn't say blue or red or purple.
Just looking what I see.
Only thing I see is red, white, and blue, baby. It's this 4th of July.
Yep, we have our blinders on.
Yeah, okay.
Let's take a tap at the purple ahead of us.
All right, purple. All right, here we go. In the graphic novels and comic book series, Bane Conquest, Bane is seeking to create a global criminal empire with the help of his original gang, Zombie, Trog, and A. Man-Bat, B. Mr. Freeze, C. Bird, D. Gaggy.
Okay, so you didn't say this was a
What?
Batman thing initially. Can you just ask the question again? The whole thing.
In the graphic-
I
in
was
the
so lost.
In the graphic novel or comic book series, Bane Conquest is the title.
Okay.
Bane is seeking to create a global criminal empire with the help of his original gang, which are Zombie, Trog, and A. Man-Bat, B. Mr. Freeze, C. Bird, or D. Gaggy.
Can you spell Gaggy?
Gaggy.
I don't really know that much about
Um,
Batman.
I feel like
I
it's got to be Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze just rolls right out the tongue.
something about his original gang. Mr. Freeze, from what I know about it, is like he works on his own because like his wife's frozen permanently or whatever, and I think he's more of his own lone dude. Man-Bat, I thought was just a fucked up guy. Like I don't even think he's like all that sentient. Maybe he's just like a human-sized bat. I think. I've never heard of Gaggy, and what was the third one?
Bird.
Spelled Bird.
Bird.
Just Bird.
I mean, or this is a thing where Bane Conquest is the name of a non-Batman, non-DC thing, and he threw in 2 Batman villains in there so that we would be like, this is a Batman thing, I guess we'll pick one of those. And it is fucking Gaggy or whatever.
Wow, that would be genius.
Gaggy is what Scooby-Doo calls his friend when he's got his food in his mouth. Gaggy?
That's not where I thought that was going.
Okay, well, I'm just keeping a PG here at a family function this June 26th.
Zoink, Scoob, you're gagging.
Red Rocket. We don't have to answer this question.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit.
Okay. Maybe we're taking our foot off the left paddle and putting it on the right paddle onto blue.
Oh, you want to check out the blue one?
They're saying pedals, like the right one's the gas. I don't know what car you drive, but
yeah.
All right. Thomas Jefferson, one of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, died on July 4th, 1826.
Oof.
What other signature for this person died on the same day? Signatory. I think how you say that word.
What other guy who signed it?
Also died on the same day of July 4th, 1826. A. James Monroe, B. Benjamin Franklin, C. John Adams, or D. Calvin Coolidge.
Coolidge wasn't there.
Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin.
I don't know Kevin.
That does
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Coolidge.
Yo, Kevin Coolidge sounds like a kid from like our high school or something.
Fuck if I know.
Okay, so blue's presidents
or
purple
U.S. politics,
comics. Okay,
or just the word conquest.
Yeah.
Why don't we preview this other purple one?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one down there.
Make sure we're turned to face the right direction.
Who?
Well, what if I do this? Hold on. Let me use a little searchlight here. Got to use them early, you know.
Oh wow. Okay.
Whoops, I can't see.
Using the draw searchlight.
Black square. I could not.
I see that. Hold on, I can delete it.
I'm in the dark.
Thank you.
I'm deleting it.
Let me draw it down here.
Draw it in like white or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw it in red.
Okay, I see that.
We see you.
Put it where you want it.
Disappear when I put it in, but I'm so confused because I'm doing what looks like a block to me, but where it lines up.
I can always draw the square over it.
Oh,
I
did draw it a little bit wrong. Hold on, let me do that again.
Yeah, if you do shift, it should lock it.
Thank you.
Oh, David didn't
see
know
now
that.
I'm the Roll20 expert.
I know.
Now.
I know.
It's been over a year since I touched this program, so.
Yeah, I don't DM anymore. Okay. I think it's about.
That looks like it says.
All right, so you want to put it there?
Yep.
I can put it. I can draw a. I think I can draw a thing that you guys can see, right? Or if I do it on the map layer, I think I can.
Map layer is always underneath the token layer.
So it's gonna be like here. Oh, you guys can't see that still.
Yeah.
Whatever, just do whatever's closest to what David kind of dropped.
Okay.
And
yeah.
He can visually, you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get these.
And if you feel like being more generous, then be more generous. You know. You're allowed to.
Generous even.
No one's gonna stop you. I support, your.
All right, David's using his thing. It's one-time use.
Yes.
One-time use per turn.
The searchlight is turned on. Fuck.
Not good at all.
I mean, this is good news because we know we don't want to go that way.
Yeah.
In a way, you know.
I now understand when he said when he was swinging the pendulum. Not that he used that phrase, but this is way more linear this time. There are more dead ends, and there's probably only one way through, really. Yeah, sweet.
Okay. Yeah,
Do we want to go over here then and see if it at least goes up?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one. How many grievances are there in the United States Declaration of Independence? A, 27, B, 35, C, 15, D, 13.
How many grievances?
The number that jumped in my head was 33. So 35 is close. Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I really don't think I know.
I don't know. Yeah, throwing darts at a wall for me.
So. I think it's worth it this early on to, take a little bit of risks.
Yeah.
Why don't I
Yeah.
step on this plate and
You got some health.
I'll say 35 because I feel like these whiny fucks were lying. We're gonna count anything as agreements if we have it. You know what I mean? I don't think they were gonna be conservative, no pun intended, on the number of grievances. I don't think it was gonna be 13. Seems way too low to me. You know what I mean? To like start
We
a
only
war.
sent 1 ply. We requested 2 ply from the Empire.
Exactly.
Like the grievances you're thinking are like something like about like a resource rather than. That's funny. And so you're locking in at 35.
We sure are 35.
All right, Ethan's saying 35. That is incorrect. It's
Ooh.
27.
Oh.
This is the first one on the list.
That was close.
27 grievances that they had written in the Declaration of Independence towards the British, the king.
And what are they?
Who knows? Maybe they might be in a question later. Who knows?
Oh, good. I hope not.
Yeah. Well, I told you one of them, but
So you guys get to
The
move
toilet
on.
paper.
Hold on.
oops.
So Ethan is at 2 health. David is at 3.
Yes.
Nice. All right, we're back to a purple. What is this one?
That one is. What are the powerful magicians called in the turn-based strategy game Songs of Conquest that came out in 2024? A. Wielders. B. Eternals. C. The Chosen. D. Inventors.
What was the name of this board game?
What are the powerful magicians called in this turn-based strategy game Songs of Conquest? Came out in 2024. It's a video game.
Oh, okay.
What are they again? Songs of Conquest.
Yeah, and what are the magicians called? A. Wielders. B. Eternals. C. The Chosen. D. Inventors.
Right, wielders, right?
I was gonna say
Wielders
the Chosen.
of magic.
I
I could see it being chosen.
He
too.
also said magician, so wizard isn't necessarily the exact
Well, I mean,
visual, maybe.
let me. I'll take a chance here. I'm gonna say wielders. Step on it.
Locking that in?
Locking it in.
All right, David thinks it's Wielders in his favorite video game, Songs of Conquest, that came out last year in 2024. And of course, it's his favorite game. That's why he got it correct. I mean, that's
Nice.
Wielders, obviously.
Ethan doubting.
I wasn't doubting, but I wasn't, positive in any direction. I'll say David's favorite game, Songs of Conquest. His favorite movie, Songs of the South.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He's all about them sayings.
A bend here.
And a yellow.
Yes,
which
it only goes right.
Ooh, yeah. I thought it was a different type of question.
You're right.
This one's lemon flavored.
I forgot myself.
All right, give us that cold brew.
All right. Let me reveal this for everybody.
A new item. A 1911.
All right, you found Old Man Sunscreen.
Oh, great.
Oof.
Want me to get your lower back?
It's all like
apply to give 2 temporary health. Last 3 questions after application, and you must have at least 1 health. So basically, it's like if you're at 3, you can go up to
a little bit of protection.
Go to 5, but it only lasts 3 questions. After like sunscreen, it only lasts 90 minutes.
Taking some chances.
Yeah,
okay.
And he's happy to get your lower back, like I said.
Yeah, and the bottle's almost empty. He's really squeezing it to get that last little bit.
And for the sake of inventory, who's holding on to this one? Ethan, he loves that sunscreen.
I was pointing up at David, but sure.
Oh, David raised or Ethan raised his hand.
I pointed.
Like you were being like,
you were
being like, this
I would
one
like
will
it.
Take it.
But I didn't do this. I went like this to point up at you. But
this
sure,
one
right,
will
I'm holding
holding
it. I'm holding it. I'm
holding Old Man Sunscreen.
I'll hold it.
Are you using it now?
All right.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we could use it now, and we
sorry.
could just crank through that left.
Hold on. Sorry. Since it's an item, you get to go further if you want. There's a blue.
Nice.
We might as well preview this question, though.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd be cranking left, but we might as well preview.
All right. What was the
Sometimes you gotta
first?
take a little break. God,
Couldn't even-
I can't talk
Yeah.
today.
What was the first military actions of the American Revolutionary War? A. Battle of Little Bighorn. B. Battle of Antietam. C. Battle of Gettysburg. Or D. Battles of Lexington and Concord.
You said this was the American Revolution.
American Revolutionary War.
Okay, so
The one and only.
we all know Gettysburg. That was a Civil War thing. You can cut that.
Yeah.
Unless there was also one there and they called it the same thing. I feel like we wouldn't have called the one in the Civil War the exact same name. We had we're calling it the 12-Day War. A little bit prematurely.
I think it's either B or D.
Can you read
I
them
think
all
it's
off again?
Lexington. I know what the
Battle
first one
of
is.
Little Bighorn. B. Battle of Antietam. C. Battle of Gettysburg. Or D. Battles of Lexington and Concord.
I've heard of A and D. Can you spell
Yeah.
B for me?
Antietam. I think it's A-N-T. I think I might have spelled it wrong. Yeah, I got it right. Antietam. Antietam.
I don't think it's that for reasons.
I think it's Lexington.
Okay. You want to go for it, David?
Yeah. Lexington.
Yes, and Concord grapes.
Concord.
Yes,
And Concord grapes.
And Concord, the video
the
game.
Welch's option.
yes, the Battle of the
Final answer.
Welches. David's locking in Battles of Lexington and Concord. That is correct. Antietam
yeah.
was also Civil War. It was considered the bloodiest battle of the Civil War, and I visited there. I went camping in Boy Scouts. And Gettysburg. Gettysburg was my first camping trip.
I figured
Antietam
it
was
wasn't that one because you would have spelled it correctly if you grabbed it from a source. So.
No, I just would excel and I just write everything for how I spell
okay.
it for the most part. So there's no trick to that. But nice, got it right.
Intuition still paid off.
I think David's doing. I think he's undefeated
I'm
right
cooking.
now. Yeah,
still is 3-0.
Yeah, it was a good thing we didn't crank to the left, Ethan.
I know. Gotta stay middle of the road. Eric Adams. Let's go.
That's true. That is his like tagline or whatever slogan.
No, his new favorite in this crowd of old people is we gotta be focused, no distractions. I forgot what the third one was, but it was also something like staying focused, and he kept trying to get these old people to chant these like multiple syllable, like different.
It's
like
always
steps.
the best when people try to get like multiple syllable chants that are really wordy.
Is it like,
or if they're like, well, I was gonna say there's also like I've gone to ones where they're saying it in Spanish, and I'm like, I can't. I just can't do it. All right, so you can either go down here or go to your, I guess, ahead or right.
Now here's the thinking of mine, David. And there could always be the simple case of, are we facing the wrong way now? It could also be the simple case of, it could just be a dead end straight down. Either it is a dead end with like an item or a recharge plate, or it connects over to the red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it cuts across,
Yeah.
or the red and the blue one next to us would also connect, or they're both dead ends, and this was all just one dead end. You know,
or they both connect,
or all of exactly. So not that there's really any information to act on, or with that, or any you know what I mean? But
I mean, where would he put a question? I guess the question would be here if there was another question or an item, because there's a blank space, and then a brick. I don't think he would put a recharge plate 1 into it, or an item 1 into. Although he put one pretty early last time that we went all the way around and missed.
True.
So.
Well,
you did good on this blue Concord grapes.
All right.
We
yeah.
Blue Concord grapes. All right, so the one of the blue one. All right.
Yep.
According to estimates before the U.S. Census, what was the population of the United States in 1770, rounded roughly?
So before the census, meaning before they actually counted for real?
Yes, but it's to estimates, rounded. So A, 500,000. B, 700,000. C, 1.2 million. D, 2.1 million.
This is 1770.
1770.
I feel like all of these are too high, so obviously I'm not going to be
high?
correct. I feel like there
I
was
just
not
put
that
them in,
many
I put them in
people.
the chat too, if that.
Oh, thank
You
you.
gotta think. I mean, 200 years is a lot of time, but to grow from even 1 million to over 300 million, I mean,
Yeah, but we got a lot of immigrants. That's how, right?
Right, but
this is when we were still the
I
colonies.
still think that's an enormous growth.
There's like 13
Like,
people
I was
that lived
thinking the
here.
most. I was thinking like. I think
Well,
it's more
obviously,
like-
I'm not correct here because I would have picked like 250,000 if that was an option. So, what do you think
Jeez.
it is?
That's like one city. I'm gonna step on it and say the highest one. I think it was 2.1 million.
You locking that in?
Locking it in, coach.
All right, David. You've been going on a streak here. I'm really proud of you. He
Thank
seems to
you.
know your stuff.
We're always proud of David.
And I'm still proud of you because you got that one right. David's right. 2.1 million
Damn.
there.
Wow.
Dang, Ethan always doubting me. He's my biggest hater, dude.
I literally was like,
Well,
what do
division,
you think
wow.
it is? What are you talking about?
We're gonna have an American Civil War.
Wow.
We're trying to celebrate independence.
Man.
We're trying to start a civil war here. What's going
I
on?
might have to change some things for some upcoming review episodes, I guess. I
Wow.
don't know. I didn't realize I was the enemy of David.
Yeah, you better crack that beer because things are getting heated.
You might have to refresh. I saw it appear on your end, Ethan, and then it
Gosh.
and then it just
It
like
did
What
not
if
appear
you
on
just
mine
made
either.
it
Oh,
worked,
tried it.
huh? What if you just made something that worked?
I'll wait and see if it works on his.
There we go.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll refresh as well then.
Yeah, maybe it's just too much.
Ooh, recharge
Jumpy
plate.
is
Shit.
glitchy.
We shall save this, I
Sick,
think.
sick.
Yeah, you're still
Great.
Ethan's at 2, David's at
Yeah.
3. Doing really good.
Wow. So he literally did put it one question in, like I thought he wouldn't.
Lots of
us
blues in a row, and David is on fire, so I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah.
David, why don't you answer this next
hear it.
question?
C. Just kidding.
All right. What war made Britain station phrasing. What war made Britain station a large army in North America, which led to them passing the Stamp Act to pay for this army?
Oh,
A.
right.
War of the Spanish Succession, kind of a tongue twister. B. 7 Years War. C. Great Northern War. D. French Revolutionary Wars.
I was gonna when he was reading the question, I was like, I think it's the Spanish War. So I'm gonna, I'm just gonna go with my gut here.
No, I am with you
And
on
I'm
that
gonna-
because I don't think I've
yeah,
really
I'm gonna-
heard of any of the others.
Yeah. So I'm gonna step on it. Say Spanish War. We're a team once again.
Oh, never
Alright, so
were we
I'll
divided, but yes.
Yeah, we're a team
Alright,
once
well-
again, but I will take the hit if this is wrong.
All right, David, are you locking that in?
Locking it in.
All right. What war made Britain station a large army in North America, which led them to passing the Stamp Act to pay for this army? David says, War of the Spanish Succession. Almost messed it up again. That is incorrect. It was the 7 Years War.
I can't believe I
with the French.
trusted you. I
With
can't
the
believe
French.
I fucking trusted you. You know what? And here I remember, Easter being like, "Hey, Devin, what if the next one, if you can, no pressure. What if you made it so that we could be 2 people, so we could split up, so I don't have to fucking rely on this asshole all the goddamn time." Oh my god, you give him an inch and he takes a whole mile, and now like my friendship is like a big joke. My friendship with David
Maybe
is a
you
big
should
joke.
make a declaration with 27 grievances towards David.
I don't even know what this yellow item is. I'm taking it. That's how mad I am at you, David.
Damn.
Okay.
Just put it right in my inventory.
see.
Don't even read it. Might not even use it. This is David's punishment.
Well, let me show you what it is first, just
I
to be sure.
apologize to chat.
All right, you found the private Signal group chat.
Oh
Nice.
my god.
Which
We
is
got
definitely
added.
confidential. Eliminates 2 possible answers for a question. It has 2 uses.
Wow. No classified info in here though.
That's actually a pretty good item.
All right, are you keeping that, Ethan?
Yes.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Because remember, I wanted to
Wow.
give David that first item, and you guys
I mean,
forced me to take it.
Do you want to give him the sunscreen?
I mean, if he'll take it.
I'll take it.
All right, David's got his
All right.
old man sunscreen.
I'm down to 1 anyway, right?
2 8
Because I
you're at
answered that
2.
wrong.
You
Oh,
had
I'm
2.
at 2. I
You
was
had,
at
you had
4,
3.
right,
You were undefeated up until that one.
I was, yeah. Great run. Great run.
So you pick up that item. There is nothing here, nothing there. That's a dead end. So you can go right here.
Okay.
If you
David,
want.
David, why don't you put on that
Ethan, you gotta
sunscreen?
take the reins.
Put on the sunscreen.
All right.
Unless you want to lather on my back.
No, there's an old guy that's with us right now, and he lathers it on my back.
Okay. Because I am thinking
ahead,
our
Jerry.
original strategy. We've strayed too far away. We've strayed too far away from our original strategy, which is hug this left wall. My beer's getting warm. Let's tank this.
No ice. It's definitely warming up in your,
We literally
grubby little
backed
hand.
out of that section and walked over here. So like, why don't we walk back over here, right? And step on this.
Oh, wow,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Is
Wow,
David
okay.
actually putting
You
on
mean-
the sunscreen, or was that
Yes.
a joke?
Nope.
Because
Both.
just remember,
Both.
it gives you 2 temporary health, and it lasts 3 questions after application. So once you put it on,
Yeah.
and it gives you it gives you 2 health. So you were at 2, you are now at 4 if you put it on.
So technically, if this first question, we know what this question is, so just say an answer. If the next one's something you think it is, then you could answer it, and the third one just be like, it's whatever, because you don't get to keep this health, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Right,
you'll
right.
lose it.
Um.
So are you using it? The
Okay.
sunscreen?
Well, now by you saying that is making me rethink it, and I'm like, oh, is this like a good thing for the final boss? But let's crank through it. This is how we started surging ahead last time. Is we used our stuff generously. We were confident we were going to find more. Jerry, lather me up.
Okay. So you're putting the
So I'm
sunscreen
at
on.
4.
David's now at 4.
Yep. Answer is C. To purple.
I'll look up even what this was.
I know we
Oh,
don't
yes.
know it. That's
So
what I
it was
thought.
the graphic novel comic book series Bane Conquest.
right.
Bane is seeking to create a global
Hmm.
criminal empire with the help of his original gang, Zombie, Trog, and then who? And then answers were A, Man Bat, B, Mr. Freeze, C, Bird, D, Gaggy.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna go Mr. Freeze.
Going Mr. Freeze?
It's gonna be
Alright.
Bird or Gaggy, but
Locking in Mr. Freeze?
Final answer, Mr. Freeze. Just rolls off
Alright.
the tongue. It seems like a good title.
That is incorrect.
All right.
It was Bird.
Whatever.
so when you said C blindly, that was correct.
It was correct, yeah.
Dang it.
So you lose one of your temporary ones, but you still have
Yep, down to 3.
1 left, and you have 2 more uses on that. So you can only go right up here because there is
Right,
a
let's hear it.
wall of ice in front of you.
This one was about drunk car caches last time. So.
About how much in millions does the U.S. import fireworks? A, 200, B, 350, C, 600, or D, 820?
This
Wow.
is sorry, say that this is like how
In-
meant quantity
millions.
of fireworks?
In
Millions
millions.
of dollars?
Correct.
Okay.
How much in millions
value.
does the U.S.
okay.
import
So
fireworks?
it's in money, not in actual units.
Right. Yeah, I was a little bit confused. Okay.
Times like these where I just curse the Chinese for inventing fireworks. Or
I feel
gunpowder.
like-
Gunpowder. I messed up the line.
I was like, did they?
It was from.
I know
well, actually,
gunpowder,
yes. Well, yes, but both. But no, it was gunpowder from a TV show.
Hmm.
Well, David, you have to answer.
No, I know.
But
Well, I mean, I think we would still like to get this one correct if we can, because
Absolutely.
I still have one more use.
what was the money values? 200,000.
So this is all of them are in millions.
Oh,
so it's
sorry,
200. A is 200, B 350, C 600, D 820.
I can't think it's that high, but like maybe I just
Almost
thought we made a lot of it here.
Right, I thought so. I'm kind of thinking the lowest.
200 million.
Yeah, that's kind of low. I'm gonna go 350 million. Final answer.
B, 350.
B.
All right, David's
This is
locking
gonna
that
be another
in.
C.
That is incorrect. It is C, 600.
God damn.
Well, we use up that sunscreen.
Whatever's next is C.
But behind this,
Oh right, I got
you
it.
do find a firework.
Whoa.
Which
Remind us what they do again.
Yeah, so if you go up to it, it will, and you light it. Assuming it'll work, whatever, just for the sake of mechanics of the game. It works, and it shoots towards here, and I will reveal this area in a second.
So we get another spotlight almost.
I'm just gonna.
This beautiful firework lights our way.
Nothing will ever be as good as the 9x9. I remember we were just like, oh wait, hold on, you meant 3x3. If you want to do that, that's fine. You wrote a 9x9 square.
All right, so it launches, and it launches over here, and it blows up an ice wall, part of the ice wall.
Oh.
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 So we can break through an ice wall. Interesting. Okay, so maybe
and then also this goes down to.
Oh, wait, that's a event.
Am I seeing everything I'm supposed to?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
I feel like this is a pathway. Like it used to not connect, and it does now.
Right. Oh, I see. He revealed. All right. Well, then why don't we tippy tap on greeny green? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more.
All right. In 2023, just about how many military bases does the United States have worldwide?
Many.
A, 150. B, 250. C, 450. D, 750.
Does this include domestic bases?
Worldwide.
So 4 or 750.
Well, I feel like, God, you think we have that many in the United States? I wasn't thinking about 400 or 750. That's crazy.
Doesn't need to have that many people in it, and they're, how many do we have, let's say, in South Korea? I bet it's more than just one. Like, how big is a base?
5. You know what I mean? Like, even if we have 5, even if we have 10, like 750, that's a lot.
I don't know. My gut tells me it's higher than what you think. You know what I mean? What you would think.
I think, yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think it goes all the way up to 750. I would say 450 is a safer bet. The second to highest.
Hey, you stepped on a lot of plates. Why don't I do that this time?
All right.
I'm going to step on this green plate here. I'm going to say, I trust David. Hurt me before, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try again. 450. Yep. Final answer.
Locking that in.
Final answer.
Yeah.
In 2023, just about how many military bases does the United States have worldwide? You say 450. That is incorrect. It's 750.
I was fucking right.
I was fucking right.
Now I'm at 1 HP.
Ethan's at 1.
David, you have to answer the next questions now until you lose a health, because we got to optimize our recharge plate usage.
Whoops. Why isn't this not locking down?
You're at 1 out of 2?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you're at 1.
Wrong key.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So what you see ahead, though, is item to your right, and then a firework in your front that you can interact with. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's see what this item is.
Yeah. My back's a little dry now. The sunscreen's
Mine
wore
has a
off.
knife in
All
it,
right.
so
So you found where is it? Just double checking it's the correct one. Yes. You found
Liberty Loan.
a World War I U.S. Liberty bond or
Oh.
loan, as it was called back then. It gives 1 health point, and the next 2 questions have half their answers removed. One-time use. So it's kind of a trade-off, just like the Liberty bonds were. If you
Wow.
pay your wages to help support the troops. So you can give 1 health point, but the next 2 questions have half their answers removed. It's a one-time use.
oh, we
Who's
give up
holding
a
on to
health
this?
point. Oh, I see.
Yes.
I thought it was you gain 1. I'll use it and die.
Well, I feel like we saved this for the boss, right? Because we always know, for those who haven't watched, I mean, the last boss usually has like 10 answers. So if we use this there,
David,
I mean,
you hold on to it.
all right, I'll hold on to it. Thanks, Dad.
Yep, because you no longer have the old man's sunscreen. It's all tapped
Yes.
out.
And I got Pete Hegzig's phones.
You do. All right. That is a dead end, as you know. Your square kind of hinted to
And what
you.
are the drunk driving questions be about him?
Oh my god, that would be.
No comment. But if you hit this firework, it will shoot not too far ahead. Let
Right in
me
front
make
of us?
sure No. Hold on, I gotta make sure. A lot of buttons here. And it shoots over there, and then it also, after
Ah.
the firework, you see
This big cube of a firework blocking the hallway. Now we can see behind it.
So maybe this is like a column up here, and we have to like slowly collect the fireworks to break our way through.
Yeah, is this like a Zelda dungeon puzzle? Well, it doesn't hurt to take a look at Maroon there, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah. The defending women's champion of the Nathan Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest.
When
Mickey
as soon as you said
Sudo.
Nathan, I knew it was about the hot dogs, by the way.
Mickey Sudo. How many? Sorry, let me just start from the beginning. The defending women's champion of the Nathan Famous International Hot Dog Eating Contest, Mickey Sudo, ate how many hot dogs in the 2024 competition? A, 35, B, 48, C, 51, D, 71.
It's going to be a high number because they soak them in water and then they just swallow them. You know what I mean?
Also those wieners.
Yeah.
Those glizzies.
Where did that term come from, glizzies? Because I've never.
It's like a Pennsylvania thing. It comes from like Pittsburgh and Philly.
Okay, I'll give it credit then because I really don't like that. I found it like to me it sounds like a very, no offense, but like San Francisco like hipster
I'm pretty
type
sure
of
it's
name.
from Pennsylvania. Yeah.
But if it's from Pittsburgh, then I'll give it some credit. I'll hate it though. Well, David, you should answer this because if I answer incorrectly, I die. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna do a glizzy joke on me.
No.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to answer this one, but I kind of agree. I'm curious what's over here. What are go through the answers again?
35,
see here, but
48, 51, 71.
Damn.
How many hot dogs could you eat? I think maybe start there.
Honestly,
I'm not
like
a national champion.
I could probably eat like 10. I could eat
and
10.
How much time is it?
I don't even remember how much. I don't remember.
Oh.
I think it's like 5 minutes or something crazy like that.
30
it's
seconds.
Be like 5 or 10 minutes.
I think it's like 50. I think it's the 51. To me, that sounds, let's say, reasonable. But
I mean, C is always good.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm gonna step on it. Number C,
Number C.
51.
Yeah.
All right. 3, maybe 4.
I've definitely
Not
eaten
says.
6 hot dogs in one dinner sitting before.
I think my record's probably
yeah.
4, maybe.
But I think I can definitely eat 10.
yeah,
and if
but
I
were you really
was in a
trying?
Also
contest,
depends on what size. We're doing the ballpark size. Are you
Nathan's
doing
famous.
Zweigels?
Nathan's
Are you
famous.
doing? Yeah.
Damn, footlongs.
The professional industry standard for contests.
Right. It's like the the basketball size. It's just the
Exactly.
official size.
Exactly. There's an inflation ratio that's needed for the hot dogs.
Oh my god.
All right. So you're saying C, locking that in?
Sorry.
So you locked in.
The Deflategate version of the Nathan's hot dog thing would be Circumcision Gate. Because these wieners got cut eearly.
Oh my
They're like a
god.
millimeter shorter, so they can fit just a little bit quicker. All right, so you're saying C, locking that in?
C, locked in.
51. David, you know your stuff. That's correct. I didn't know you were a big Miki pseudo
Classic
fan.
C. I think these top, like these in a row here, have been C, C, C.
And that purple one.
I mean, it's just a good answer.
All right, so
Was that one C? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go through this, and you see a head. Just for the sake of visibility,
A beautiful woman.
whoops, actually, I didn't mean to do that. I don't think I can undo it. It's okay. You see here, it's a dead end. But it looks like, maybe you gotta come back here again.
Yep. Okay.
No, I think we can
All
break
right.
through it. David, start punching the ice.
I kick
David
it.
loses all his health immediately.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
recharge.
But yeah, these 2 spots have been blown up by the fireworks that you found.
Great.
Okay. Do we go down to this area down here?
We have to find all these stupid fireworks. You were right, David.
Yeah. What do you mean stupid? I think these are
I don't actually like
glorious
fireworks.
and patriotic.
I'm being honest.
I agree.
I've never been a fireworks fan.
I'm a fireworks fan in a controlled, like, where the guys know what they're doing and they make a good show of it instead of just your neighbors doing sparklers next to dry weeds and cause a fire.
Can I tell a quick story of how cool heads prevailed and I didn't burn in a forest?
What?
Summertime.
I feel like you've told the whole story already.
Summertime. Summertime. 2011. Going to New York City. Well, we spend our nights in Fishkill, New York. We take the train in to New York City, visiting people that live there. We brought a bunch of fireworks. They live in the forest, and we almost shot them off in the forest. Just these fireworks.
If it's wet enough, you probably would have been fine.
It wasn't.
But, like, it was still not a good idea for sure. If there's like a lot of brush around.
Guy that lived there shot a bear that was charging him and lived.
That's a cool story. It's like
Nice.
It's like Jaws.
Yeah.
Like the item that we used earlier.
Yeah.
Let's quick health check. Ethan's at 1. David's still at 2.
Yes.
Feeling strong, coach.
We have items. David has the Liberty Bond. Ethan has the Signal group chat. And Ethan also has the ice cold Genesee beer from the beginning of the game.
Right.
Yes.
Should probably consider using this.
I feel like we bank all the items we can.
You couldn't even get a PNG. Has to be a JPEG. I want to be able to see the curves of that can better.
Hey, man. Devin, sometimes haters just hate,
I'm used to it.
Being a hater? Let's check this. I don't know, David, unless you disagree. Why don't we check over here?
What? No. Let's check at the bottom one.
Sure.
So you going to this purple one?
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think we've heard it yet.
You have not. I was about to read it, and then you guys were like, let's go somewhere else. So here's the question. Who directed 1492, Conquest of Paradise? Movie came out in 1992. A. Ang Lee. B. Ridley Scott. C. Joel Cohen. D. Alfonso Cuarón.
Sounds like a Ridley Scott. But I could.
I'll put them in the chat just for.
You know some of these, Ethan? I've never heard of any of them.
I like my beer 2D. I agree.
Ang Lee made that 2005 Hulk movie. People refer to it as Ang Lee's Hulk. Then there was another Hulk movie.
Not Ang Lee Hulk. Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah, fuck off. Ridley Scott, obviously, most famous for Civil War. Nothing else.
It's not Ridley Scott.
I don't know. What were the other two?
I put them in the chat. Joel Cohen and Alfonso Cuarón.
I see.
Actually
It
French.
didn't auto scroll down on me. One of the Cohen brothers, unless this guy also just happens to have their name. I don't know who this last guy is. Well, question. Refresh, unless and maybe these rules changed. I didn't hear this part. If I die, Dave can still drag me onto a recharge plate, and that will work.
That's
okay,
correct.
so
you just can't you won't be able to like
talk.
answer or participate.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. You know what? It's time for me to not all that confidently answer the question. David has to trust me this time. I'm gonna say.
But
What
I don't want I step on it, and then we both participate in all questions.
Fine, David. Fine. I will trust you
Which
for
one
a
do you think it
third
is?
time. I'm gonna trust you for a third time. Go ahead.
See.
Joel Cohen.
Yep.
Lock that in.
I would have said
Locking it
Ridley
in.
Scott.
All right, that is incorrect. It was Ridley Scott.
Wow. Ethan's sabotaging us. He knew the answer, he didn't tell me.
David's
What the
David's now at 1. Ethan's at 1.
All right.
Oh my god.
We're doing all right. We're doing all right here.
It was Napoleon. I pictured Napoleon and said Civil War. I want
Good
credit for that
answer,
still.
Good answer.
When I said Ridley Scott made Civil War, I was literally envisioning what's his name as Napoleon. I just want to put that out in the air.
So you can keep going here.
I mean, do we think it turns? It can only turn one way.
Might
It's
as well
possible.
hear the question. It could be dumb.
Yeah, true.
Or simple, rather. Easy.
Yep.
I don't want to, belittle the Devin here. I don't mean dumb.
You're gonna say it's dumb, and then it'll be like you get it incorrect, and then you're gonna be like, well,
Well, then that's your fault. So,
All right. About how many ratified treaties with Native Americans have helped the United States expand its territory? A. 70. B. 100. C.
Wow.
280. D. 370.
It's not worth answering.
Wow.
We got to learn to walk
what
away.
if there's a firework? All right.
Well, then we've
Okay.
come back
Yeah,
later.
I mean, we don't know. We
Right.
can come back later. I agree. Okay, let's maybe hear this other geography question then over
Sure.
here, huh?
Sure.
I think we have to answer this one.
What year did the U.S. Apollo 11 land on the moon? A. 1959. B. 1962. C. 1969. D. 1974.
We landed on the
59,
moon.
62, 69, 74.
We definitely had man on the moon, 69.
Nice.
But I don't know if that was the 11, and we just landed something on there to see if we could do it.
I was
thinking
also thinking
13
69.
is the one where we actually landed man on the moon. But
1913? What did you
no, the
He
Apollo
said
13.
13.
Apollo 13.
Oh, Apollo
I was going to say
13.
1913
I was
is
like,
not one of the answers.
what? Yeah, I was like,
No.
what?
Who
Because
directed the right, yes.
yeah, that would be
These are all flat Earth questions. They haven't realized yet.
I'd be down for that. The question is, what year did the Apollo 11 land on the moon? Right, or what
Correct.
the date is? Because you had
Just year.
Uh,
59, 62, 69, 74.
it's not
69.
it's not A or D. So it is it
Yeah.
is either 62 or 69.
Those are the two
I don't think
60s.
it's 62.
It can't. That's way too early. The space race was like very fast. So yes, 69. I'll step on it. You know what,
All right,
David?
locking that in.
Let's both
He's
step
brave,
on it
folks.
together. This is true trust. Because if we're wrong, then we're just done.
That's not how it works, but one of you's got to
He
answer.
steps on it at the last second. I step off.
Okay, what's the answer?
69.
69. I will
All
answer.
right, Ethan's answering 1969. That is correct. It is. The Apollo 11 was the landing on the moon with the peoples on it.
Okay.
So
Fake landing.
The hypothetical.
In
And-
theory.
you did find a
Ooh.
firework
Heck
over here.
yeah.
And it looks like it's gonna launch. And I gotta actually no, I don't. Well, yeah, I can just do this.
The question is it going to be a straight line or is this going to jet, left or right?
It's going to be a straight line.
So it shoots and it goes here.
And vaguely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 in total. If these are all spots like that. The pendulum has swung. Okay, good to
Right.
know. Hey, and this looped around, so that means we don't need to bother with this question. Unless
Yep,
it goes
great.
left as well.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
This is a-
reveal.
Okay.
There's one up
Right.
here.
Not a dead end.
Okay. David loves his dark blue.
What do we got here? Tapping my big toe on it.
What year did U.S. Congress make Independence Day a unpaid holiday for federal employees? A. 1791, B. 1834, C. 1870, or D. 1929? I'll put these in the
And
chat.
the question was, what year did they make it?
An unpaid
Un-
holiday for federal employees. U.S. Congress.
So they like changed it from paid to unpaid?
Or it was not a holiday previously.
Oh, an unpaid holiday. Just made it a holiday, basically. Gotcha.
Right.
What
It'd be wild
was
if
the
it was less than 100 years ago. But I guess that could also be the case. Like I don't really
holiday
know.
is it? July 4th?
Yeah. What else?
Independence Day.
What other holiday would he pick?
I don't know. Martin Luther King Day? I don't know. Could be. There's a lot of them.
But like the
Um,
theme of this is.
Uh,
You're right, David. How silly of me.
1870 is a good year.
Was it a good year, David? Do you know what happened in 1870?
Yeah. No.
We
That's
had
a clue.
slaves,
That's a clue.
David.
Not this.
Not
this.
good year.
No, I'm asking genuinely. Do you know what happened in 1870?
Nope.
Like,
I feel
was
like
this a
that's
big
clue.
malaria year? Like, what are you getting at?
Yeah.
He just said he's like 1870. That's a good year. I'm like, oh, is it?
Yeah.
Like,
Stocks
why?
were good that year. Stocks were good.
We didn't even have economies back then. Talking about.
A lot of horses. A lot of horses.
Yeah. Billy the Kid. He was around back then. David, to help you kind of think about this, I want you to envision this visual I'm going to give you, as I described, to help break the ice of your brain. Because you stepped up to this blue plate here, and you said, I'm going to slap my big toe on it. David, both of my big toes have ingrown toenails
Wet
that
slap.
I am currently battling
Oh.
right now, yes. Been soaking them in hot water and lifting up the toenail.
It's not the visual I wanted. Well, I'm trying to
I don't know.
focus.
I was going to say that either now or I was going to forget, so I need to just tell you right now.
You didn't have to say it.
I wanted to tell you.
didn't have to.
I wanted to tell you.
Okay. I think to get past this, I am going to say, man, I'm kind of, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh, what if this was one of the first holidays? Like, what if they did make it back in 1791?
Maybe that feels way too early,
Um,
but
I mean, yeah, it's
we were still
what,
killing people to claim land back then, right? We
less.
didn't-
It's like a decade, a little bit over a decade after, 15
right,
years
right, right,
after.
right. Yeah, I feel like that's too early. But who knows?
That's yeah.
These people had
True,
nothing
true.
better to do.
Yeah, they
These
were still
people.
celebrating it. They didn't need a holiday.
What
As
should
if
I
we're
say?
not from
Us?
this country.
Yeah, but we weren't them.
These
Okay,
people. It's
maybe
gonna
I'll
be
say 1870 then. I mean, do we just stick with C? I
that's
feel
your
like it's
that's
B
your
or C.
favorite number.
Yeah, 1870, good year. I'll press down with my big toe. I hear
Ugh.
that deep click.
Of the toenail.
No, of the plate clicking into place to answer the question. My toenails don't click.
and you're saying
1870.
you're locking that in,
Locking it in.
David. That's correct. It was a good year for federal employees to get a day off. I'll leave it at
Nice.
that. I mean,
Great.
it's 5 years after the Civil War kind of, I believe, ended. So you're having in the middle of Reconstruction. The Ku Klux Klan's probably starting to do some stuff.
Yikes.
Great.
We
Good
still
stuff.
were killing people in the West at this point. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, unpaid, federal employees. I was surprised they
Yeah.
had federal employees at
party.
that point. Because that was my thing. I was like, when did federal employees even really exist? I don't even know.
Yeah, I guess
David,
that was
you're
another
correct.
line of thinking. Like, yeah, did we actually have like straight up
think-
employees, or versus just politicians? You know what I
think
mean?
U.S.
Back in
Marshals, like U.S. Marshals, are really old, and those are federal employees.
How do they make them live that long?
vampires.
I don't know. A lot of good stem cells.
A lot of good stem cells, vampires. Who knows? Maybe somewhere in
Yeah.
between. All right, you have two here.
You feeling, Ethan? What do you want to hear first?
I want to hear. Well, we know the purples are just anything in the media with the word conquest in the title. And green, I forgot what green was. I think it was geography.
Yeah.
Why don't we just humor purple, knowing that we're probably not going to be that confident on it. I still have Pete Hegseth's phone, where I can eliminate two possible answers. And then I also have.
Well, it's your phone. You just got added to the group chat.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
his phone.
basically.
And I
Oh,
got,
damn.
I got,
He just left it on the
I got
sidewalk.
his beer too.
Oh,
He's always got one on him.
Yeah.
Didn't know
free.
he went all the way up upstate. That's crazy.
Listen, when you don't get picky, you just grab something. Yeah, let's listen to purple. I might use one of these items.
All right,
yeah.
I think we should save them, but let's see.
I'm thinking you might be
I
right
do have
about
4 health.
Well, wait a second, David. If I can interrogate a line of thinking we had earlier, not that this really needs to happen here, about this green question over here. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we're like, oh, what if he has an orange thing down there?
Yeah.
If he had the orange thing here, wouldn't we see it from this side? He wouldn't do that, but I guess he could have also put it here.
He wouldn't do that.
or there. Be fair, but then
Yeah.
would
So
see
you're saying
it.
there's 3 spots it could be.
But my point being is though, like if it was here, we would see it from this path. I feel like it can't be anywhere.
Right.
I feel like there's nothing here.
Well, it can be at the bottom. It could be at the bottom here.
Yeah, but when we see that from the outside,
I don't know. Fireworks.
I feel
are
like
hidden
he
under dirt.
uses an entire square for a wall. That's just the visual design that I would respect. And I feel like
you're
Devin isn't
trying
a fool.
to-
I feel like Devin is smart.
I feel like you're trying to convince me not to answer that, and I was asking to hear the purple question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's listen to the purple one.
I was not trying to go over there.
Yeah, right. Let's listen to purple.
All right.
Great.
Right. The video game American Conquest released in North America in 2003. Who was the developer? A. Fireglow Games. B. GSC Game World. C. Crytek. Or D. Moon Studios. And I'll put these in the chat because there's a lot.
Crytek is such a early 2000s like
They're the crisis
company.
people.
Not the Dino Crisis. No, don't get confused.
Crisis with
Totally.
a Y. Hence
Yeah.
Crytek. Fireglow I've never heard of. GSC games sounds similar, but maybe it's just because GSC is gold, silver, crystal. If you were looking at Pokemon, Moon Studios I've heard of. I don't know, man. I mean, the name what American Conquest. This is such a like Iraq war. There was a game of this era where you killed Bin Laden in a fist fight, or Saddam, one of the two.
It's on like addictinggames.com. I remember playing it.
No, I mean like on PlayStation 2. Like
different game. Then there's two at least.
I'm sure there were
where you
many.
punch, Osama bin Laden.
There's even games where you kill Hitler.
And you're George Bush, and you actually shoot Al Qaeda who are trying to get in the White House, and then you fight Osama at the end. You got to be there, folks, or maybe you
Not
don't have to
today,
wait too long.
bucko.
You don't have to wait too long. We'll be right back there.
Knock on wood, no. Huh. I mean, does this mean that it's probably like Fire Glow Games? Like that sounds like a American Fire Glow.
Yeah, it would
Games.
obviously be an American company. Not that Moon Studios is the closest I can think of the four that's like potentially not a Western studio name. Like I could see a Japanese studio be named Moon, but like a lot of Japanese game companies of the early era were just they just have names: Konami, Capcom, Nintendo. They're not like words, you know what I mean? They're shortened from other things, service games, capsule company, but it's not like Moon. You know what I mean? Crytek is certainly old enough to have been there, but would this company, which I'm pretty sure is European, make a game called American Conquest? I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah, they're probably not feeling the same drive. I think we're 1-1 here.
You know what? It's time for me to step on a plate. David's answered too many, right or wrong. He's answered too many. I'm gonna step on the plate and say B, Gold, Silver, Crystal Game World.
Are you locking that in?
Might as well. David wants me to keep the item, so I have to trust him again.
All right, Ethan's locking that in. He thinks GSC Game World developed American Conquest, which released in North America in 2003. That is correct. You got that right.
Great job, Ethan.
It's actually a Revolutionary War like RTS game, I guess.
Fair. There was a big Patton game on the PSP from World War II. Patton.
Look at that, we were rewarded.
Yes, and you were so close to the firework earlier. But you shoot this firework, and it hits the ice wall, but in a way where more crumbles than expected.
Whoa.
And it looks like
the rest of it.
Hold on, I was on the wrong layer.
About time for me to soak my foot.
Looks like it reveals these two. Hold on. Where's the reveal thing?
Christ, our Lord.
A turn order.
No, sorry, I'm pressing like every
roll initiative.
It looks
another one right away. 2 more.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, is this gonna be bad?
Let's
it's like
the
left firework or the right one will either block or great progress. Which do you pick?
So you shoot that firework and it opens up an area.
Yeah, we've gotten second area. We've progressed into tier 2 questions.
We never listened to.
Oh, sorry. I should say underneath this ice, though, there is. Oh, come on, man. There we go.
Come on, man. Here we go. From the Beatles.
Oh, hell
A recharge point appears.
We have 2.
I mean, I think we got to continue forward. We don't want to go back to the green. That's area
I'm
one.
just pointing out there so we don't forget. Hey, there is one we didn't listen to. It could be
Yeah.
a firework, or an item. I feel like these orange fireworks are traps.
I step on the firework.
Are you guys are you collectively moving? You gotta go together. So are you collectively moving to go
Hey, the
up,
theme
or-
of this episode is trust. I've
Yeah.
never ever eaten crow for
hold-
trusting David.
I hold Ethan's hand tightly as I step onto the firework plate.
I know we're talking about pendulum swinging, but I don't exactly swing in the same fashion.
Well, as you get up here, sorry, the recharge plate I should have put here. No.
Oh,
Oh.
so we can't go past it.
Yeah, sorry, I should have put it there. If you
Oh,
want to,
okay.
if you
Yeah,
want
well,
to
that's okay.
recharge.
Yeah,
I
so
think then we do Ethan's
exactly.
I meant to put it there.
Exactly.
strat.
Exactly.
Wow. All right, Ethan was right after all.
Because I was going to give you
Sometimes
guys
a little
help,
trust
but
is needed.
if you want to still go down here,
Let's
Yep.
test this green one out.
Sure.
the UK still has about this number of military bases in other countries. This is from 2023. A, 50, B, 75, C, 120, or D, 145.
120, 145 are so close to each other. It's
50, 75, 120, 145. The UK.
145. Final answer.
You locking that in?
Yeah, I'm just the last one was the max. I'm feeling this one was the max.
personally, I
Matt,
think
We
it'd
got
be
that recharge
120,
plate
but
set.
I trust David.
All right, David's locking in 145.
I'm gonna lock in 120.
Oh,
Are you locking in 120?
Yep.
All right. That is incorrect. It was 145. David's dead.
Ethan.
Hey, you don't have time to say anything. You're dead now.
Yeah.
My plan is working. I tricked David into dying. Now this item's
And there is an
all
item.
mine.
I'm glad you guys went back. This item is a slice of Double R Diner's cherry pie from the hit show Twin Peaks. Just missing a damn fine cup of coffee. Heals 2 health points and has 1 use. Who is
Nice.
holding that?
Well, David's dead. He can't hold it, so I have to take it. And
I
man,
mean,
I
he's a
am missing
physical
2
bot.
health points, so I could use it right now and just keep playing.
Are you holding it?
I am gonna hold it, and I'm gonna drag
Okay.
David all the way. Boom, 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 boom.
No,
Onto
not
this
over-
recharge plate. Nope. Through that ice wall and up here onto this one.
So you're using that recharge plate?
Sure am. A little birdie on my
Alright.
shoulder told me no.
Jeez.
All right. So you're stepping on this recharge plate, and you guys are fully healed now. Just to double check.
That was a close one.
So Ethan, you are holding the cherry pie.
Yes.
Then
And I have a
Okay.
beer. And I
And a beer,
have PX's phone.
I think David, you
I mean,
have.
sounds like a party to me.
You have the
I
Liberty
have,
Bond, right?
Yeah. I'm investing in my future.
All right. So as you step on this and recharge, the horseman, which has been sitting there patiently up top of the mountain, shoots an arrow, and it lands behind you. And it will close with ice.
Oh shit. Well, I mean,
I had a feeling.
Is that the right color? I think it's the darker one. There we go. So it'll close behind
Yeah.
you. You can't. Seems right now can't go back.
there was not even anywhere for us to go though. Forward. at
And
least.
Right.
and as you're both kind of like watching this happen, he shoots another arrow, and it hits you guys, but you're both able to dodge. But David, you go left. Ethan, you go right,
Oh,
and now
no.
you're separated.
Yay.
And this is what Ethan wanted, so here you go. He was complaining about it at the beginning,
Ethan.
and
Well, okay.
he just had to
Hold
be
on.
patient.
Hold
you
on.
know,
You could always,
per usual.
trust
Um,
me. That's all I'm saying.
So I'm gonna need to make 2 new tokens, and I need to make sure I separate you two correctly, and I've never done that, so this might be a learning thing for me. Do I create a new character or do I just do an item?
Well, you can just drag tokens on. You could literally just copy and paste our token.
Okay.
You can give them I kept calling them subtitles in my head.
Oh yeah, I guess we could just
labels.
remember who's right and who's left. In that case,
So shouldn't.
You can give us like tints too. I think you can like tint us,
can I?
or I can give myself.
Mine on the left and David's on the right.
David's on the left. You're on the right.
Oh, okay.
Pick.
Yeah. So he shoots the arrows at you,
Dude.
and basically walls.
He's using walls.
Ethan.
Who?
And walls you guys to each side. So how is this going to work? Is we're going to go.
Damn, I shouldn't have
forth.
3 of these items. Then.
You guys cannot communicate with each other like on the questions and the strategy, but you both are just going separately now. We'll just go back and forth. We'll start with and you both are at full health though. After that recharge plate, I put the blocks where I wanted to, so I feel like it was a little bit more confusing than it needed to be. Regardless, you're now separated. First time in this game's history.
Can I get credit for correctly identifying that this area up here would be a trap?
Is it a trap though? So David, you're gonna go first. We'll just go left to right in that way.
All right.
So you'll go first. So there's a question in front of you. There's also a firework to your left.
Step on it.
All right. So you do the firework, which will. I'm trying to remember. Yes, shoots all the way over here. And Ethan, if you step on yours, just to make this, I have to do this again.
What if I don't wanna?
You're gonna wanna.
Oh, you're gonna wanna.
And so David, yours on the left reveals one on the left. Ethan's, yours is on the right, up there from the 2 fireworks. So continue with David. You can only go one way right now, which is the blue.
What do we got?
So the Second Continental Congress voted to approve independence by passing the what on July 2nd, 1776? A, the Washington Resolution, B, the Philadelphia Resolution, C, Lee Resolution, or D, Independence Resolution?
Man, none of those sounded right.
The Second Continental Congress voted to approve independence by passing the what on July 2nd, 1776? Peaks.
Man, I feel like
Peaks and valleys.
Washington seems too obvious. I feel like Philly is calling out to me. I don't think it was the Lee resolution. And I think Independence resolution is a little too on the nose. It could be that. And what day was it?
July 2nd, 1776.
Huh. I think I'm gonna go with my gut, and if my gut steers me wrong on this one, I'm gonna go with my brain on the next one. I'm gonna go Philadelphia Resolution B, locked in.
David, that is incorrect. I see where you're coming from. It was a little bit of a bait, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was actually the Lee Resolution.
Wow,
I don't know
that's the
after
last one I
who,
didn't get.
but not Robert E. Lee because he didn't exist yet.
Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Up
What
ahead,
did you think it was, Ethan? Yeah, what did you think it was?
All right, Ethan's turn.
What's my question?
This state is the only U.S. state to ban all consumer fireworks. A, Texas. B, Nevada. C, Washington. Or D, Massachusetts.
I don't know, so I'm going to bust out a can.
Oh, the Genesee Valley.
Yep.
Genesee. He's gonna roll a D4 for me.
Sorry, hold on. I need to
'Cause
look
that-
at this. Yep. I like Mexican. D4?
Yep, a D4.
My roll
He
was
rolls a
4. It didn't.
Weirdly enough, Ethan was talking about this before we got on air. What is
don't?
the record high temperature for July in Greater Rochester area from 1871 to present? A, 95, B, 98, C, 102, or D, 106. Record high temperature for July in the Greater Rochester area since 1871.
Now, that emphasis on July could be like, well, it was hotter in August, but we're talking just for this month and all of these years. Or, if, it could just be the way it was worded. What were the last two answers?
102, 106.
Right. Well, I know for a fact it is not one of the 90s because it was hotter than that recently. But I'm gonna say it gets hot here, and maybe it's just because I'm a cold, frozen boy who doesn't like the heat, can't tolerate it as much. But 102 just seems deadly to me. I'm gonna say 102. C. Final answer.
Ethan says 102. The second highest on this list. That is correct. 102. The 106 is a little bit too high.
It feels like,
This record was in 1936, surprisingly.
Yeah,
might be broken soon though. We'll see.
No.
So yeah, you used your just one of your two uses.
I got half a
on
can
your-
left.
Half a can left. You chugged a little bit of it. And you move on. The answer to this question, just for funsies, the state was Massachusetts, which I thought was really
Oh.
surprising, considering it's like one of the original 13 colonies, and it's like, nah, you can't buy fireworks, you can't use fireworks. All consumer fireworks are no go.
Yeah. I feel like I would have guessed.
In Washington,
because it's so small.
Washington was the one I put in there where I felt like I would have guessed that because it's just like a very foresty state.
When you said Washington, I was thinking DC. So that's just where I was thinking. All right,
and back to David now. You have an option here.
Yeah.
Left or straight.
I think I'm gonna let me listen to the left one first.
One of the largest.
You haven't even heard it.
I got up
One of the
early.
largest U.S. military bases, Ramstein Air Base, has around how many troops? This is in 2023. A, 1,000. B, 2,000. C, 3,000. D, 9,000.
Rammstein? I mean, clearly it's got to be in Germany. I've never heard of Rammstein base, so can you post the answers or not the answer? Can you post the answers? Can you post the options?
Yep.
I'm kind of thinking it's lower. 1,000,
1,000, 2,000,
seems
3,000, 9,000.
small.
Largest U.S. military bases, Ramstein Air Base, has how many troops? This is 2023.
Oh, this
So-
is the largest?
One of the largest.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna go 9,000 then.
Locking that in?
I was figuring it was a small one because I had not heard of it. Yeah, 9,000.
David locks that in. That is correct. And that's actually where my
Nice.
cousin works at
interesting.
in Germany. It is the biggest
Wow, Oxton.
military base in Germany as well. And that's where the band got its name from, because at the time when they were forming the band, there was a big airplane crash at the base.
Wow.
I like that the biggest military base in a country is one of ours.
Yeah, hey, maybe if they wanted more freedom, they would have more people.
You know what? I guess that's how that works.
All right, back to Ethan now. You can only go up ahead.
I like how David's not checking off the questions I answered, but
I'm doing my job.
I'm not doing mine.
All right, Ethan, your question is this. Oxfam, a rights group, published an inequity report in 2025 about how much the UK extracted in US dollars from India between 1765 to 1900. What was the number in trillions? A, 13, B, 35, C, 50, D, 65.
Want to know what my answer to that is? Drinking my beer.
Are you drinking your beer again?
Wow.
All right. Roll a D4 again. If it's
Sir,
a 4,
yes,
we'll
sir.
re-roll.
Okay.
Roll it again.
Wow, lucky, I guess.
3.
3. Happy Pride Month. Rochester's annual Pride Parade is hosted in this neighborhood. A, Park Avenue. B, South Wedge. C, Market View Heights. Or D, Maplewood.
Wow.
Can you read the answer? I pulled it in. Can you read the options again for me?
And I'll post it in chat too. Park Avenue, South Wedge, Market View Heights, or Maplewood.
Oh, it's either A or C, I feel like, but not that confident on even that part.
Rochester's annual Pride Parade.
Guess I'm outing myself as someone who's not gone.
Yeah, you should know this, right? You said you went.
I would have never have claimed that.
I know.
Stolen valor.
I just don't know. You've been around Rochester.
Well, what the fuck does that mean?
Maybe
I've been around.
No, man, you might have seen a sign for it. I don't know. Maybe.
Honestly, no. You could have told me, Rochester didn't have one, and I would have said, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense." Man, I kind of just gotta pick one, huh? I got these 4 choices, and I don't want to use another item on that question. Wasteful.
You can't. I'll say you're allowed to.
I figured I'd be allowed to, but
allowed to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish David didn't die before I picked up this last item too. Could have had it. That was his choice to make. Folks at home couldn't even read, couldn't see that David wrote that. But
that's why it's funny that you responded.
Well, whatever. I might, because I'm trying to talk out loud about my potential options here, and been distracted. Just like Eric Adams says, no distractions, focus.
What would Eric Adams answer?
It is either Park Avenue or Market View Heights. I'm gonna be honest. I've never heard of South Wedge. And Maplewood sounds like that's probably real. I'm going to go ahead and say the answer, as David always says, number C.
Market View Heights?
Yeah, why not? I'm not that confident, but I got to pop and lock something, right?
All right, locking it in. He's used the last of his Genesee beer. That
can is empty.
Incorrect. It was Park Avenue. You got to follow that hunch.
Damn. I was kind of feeling Park as well.
Damn. I just feel like...
Are the rest of them actual streets in Rochester?
No, these are all actual...
yeah, I've just never heard of South Wedge or Maplewood.
I think actually... Did I make up Maplewood? Maybe, I don't remember. No, because I looked up Rochester trivia, I think, for some of these. So I think these were...
Okay.
Real.
Hey, I got a recharge plate.
But you got a recharge plate. You're at 2 health, though.
Yeah.
Ethan, you do have the cherry pie that heals 2 health points, 1 use.
And I have that cell phone.
And you have the group chat, which eliminates 2 possible answers for a question. It has 2 uses.
All right.
David, you still have the nothing.
I have the bond.
He has the
Oh, you're right.
The war bond.
You're right. Which gives if you enlist, if you can't enlist, you give 1 health point. And the next 2 questions have half their answers removed, so it's like a sacrifice.
Restrict my memory. What did you, as someone buying a war bond, get besides patriotism?
You get like a certificate, probably, or a receipt. Like, I'm patriotic, and it was
Whatever.
a way because for them to like donate money so they can buy resources and yeah.
For whatever
Literally,
reason,
it
for
was
the longest time,
sacrificing
I was
part of your wages.
I was getting them like conflated with like market bonds for like home speculation. So back in my head, I was like, oh, when the war's over, you get your money back or something like that. That's what's just floating in my head. I'm like, how does that make sense? Unless we stole gold from Germany. David, it's your turn. Banging on the ice.
All right, David, you can either go to the left there, or you can go straight.
Going to my favorite color, blue, like the ocean.
What a basic.
Back to blue, of course.
We don't say that anymore.
Who is tasked to making the first draft of the Declaration of Independence? A. John Locke, B. Thomas Jefferson, C. John Adams, or D. Benjamin Franklin?
I think it's Thomas Jefferson. How much health do I have? I'm still
You're
at full,
full.
right?
You're full.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say Thomas Jefferson. Final answer.
Locking that in.
Although I could see it being Benjamin Franklin. I don't know if he really helped though. I don't remember.
He didn't do jack shit.
Bro
Bro was so lazy during this whole thing.
He was just cheating on his wives with slaves. That was all he was
and
doing.
Then he signed the document and got all the credit.
Yeah.
And now he's on the $100 bill.
Yeah.
He never became president, right?
No.
Franklin, no. Thomas Jefferson. Final answer.
That is correct. Good job. You're
nice.
So far not doing too bad on this American history here.
That's what I was thinking too,
Suck
but
it,
not that. Wow. Okay. Thanks. Great.
And you see a recharge plate below and red ahead, but we'll go back now to Ethan. You can either go on the recharge plate or keep going further.
Well, I don't need to step on it quite yet, so I'm gonna tease the waters here and tap. Purple was fucking meaty with the word conquest in the title, so this could be anything.
In Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which came out in 1972, Caesar leads a rebellion against humans who have enslaved them, the apes. What installment is this film in the original Planet of the Apes movie franchise? A, first, B, second, C, third, D, fourth.
The answers are 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes. Of the Planet of the Apes franchise.
Either 2 or 3. Movies have never interested me. Not saying that's an opinion I could have on whether the movie is good or bad. I'm just saying these movies have never interested me. And as the world's number one,
sure that'll.
I'll
help you find the answer. I'm sure.
As the world's number one Tim Burton fan, I know Devin actually prefers a secret other one instead. I'm gonna say it's the third one, but it's probably the second one. C, 3, E, O. Number 3, third.
What?
Answer C, 3.
Yeah, okay. All right, answering 3, locking that in.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. It's the fourth one, actually.
Ooh.
Honestly, I didn't think there was 4.
There's 5 of the original.
Oh,
You
they
said it was
just couldn't help
1992?
themselves.
1972.
And that was the fourth one?
Planet of the Apes is
Wow.
older than 1968 was, or 67 was the first movie.
Dang.
Not
So
as old as
Ethan,
the
you're at-
Bible.
Ethan, you're at 1 health here.
All right.
Up
Dang.
ahead.
You gotta start answering questions right.
See, I'm telling you, it's supposed to be about like independence and revolutions, and
Oh,
now it's
I'm
all
definitely
about
going to be
Civil War.
independent from David. That's for sure.
And you do see 2 pathways reveal ahead.
Wow.
Now back to David. You have that green. You can go to the recharge plate. You can go red.
I don't need the recharge plate. I'm sure Ethan's doing well, so I'm sure he doesn't need it. But I'm gonna go forward to the blood, the war,
It's
the
funny
conquest.
that's literally what I have it marked as in my sheet is the blood. I didn't even write it red. It
The
showed blood.
blood.
How many? Well, sorry. How much are 144 pack of Morning Glory sparklers at Walmart?
I thought this was about cigarettes at first.
144, that's a lot.
A, $17.99. B, $19.99. C, $26.99. D, $31.99. 144
This is like
pack of
20,
Morning.
25?
Yes, I literally looked it up
Okay.
on their website.
144
last
pack,
week.
that's a lot. I think they could get 30 for that, honestly.
Are you bartering
But
with them?
would they? But would they? Would they go cheap and a little bit cheaper? Go $26.99. People feel like it's 20. I'm gonna go with the old classic C. My gut said D, but I gotta go with my brain. $26.99.
Are you locking that in? All right.
Yep.
David says $26.99 for 144 pack of Morning Glory sparklers at Walmart. That is correct.
Wow.
He knows his prices on sparklers.
I bet those things got to be
Yep.
tiny, right? They're got to be like little tiny hand ones.
Yeah, the little hand ones. Yeah, like the ones I was describing that people. No, actually, those were the ones that like sit
when you
there.
start
But
like
these
when
ones
they
are the
get
little
to the
sticks.
bottom,
Yeah.
they like burn your hand.
I was thinking they might have been a flat $20.
Mm.
I've never
All
bought
right, Ethan.
fireworks.
Nah, they're greedy, dude.
There's actually a tent around the corner from me in front of the Bill Gray's
Throw a match in there.
that is selling is selling fireworks.
Your turn, Ethan.
I'm gonna
you're
step
at 1
on
HP.
If I step on this recharge plate, is that my turn?
No.
I guess I am gonna step on it.
All right, use it. There's
I want to save my pie for maybe the boss fight.
There's ice chunks around, so you can't go anywhere else. But you recharge. You're full, and you can either go right or ahead.
I'm gonna charge forward. Gotta at least take a look. Blue.
All right, blue. Ba-da-dee-ba-da-hi. All right, how many American soldiers were killed or wounded in the Battle of Bunker Hill? A, 150. B, 400. C, 1,000. Or D, 2,400.
Oh man. Can you write them out for me?
I got you.
Because I forgot them already.
Yeah, it's tough.
Someone might have peaked Hexes. 150, 400, 1,000, 2,400. Love the comma usage. Battle of Bunker Hill. Actually, can you ask like the question itself part?
How many American soldiers were killed or wounded in the Battle of Bunker Hill?
Or wounded. Oh. Part of me was hoping that there was a year attached to that so I could kind of gauge better, because I've heard the name, but I have not associated that with any particular...
We fought there, Ethan. How do you not remember this?
Dude, all the RAM in my brain for never forgetting was tied to 9/11.
That's true. I feel you. That was our Bunker Hill.
Killed or wounded. Battle of Bunker Hill, this sounds bloody. This sounds bad. I'm gonna guess a cool flat 1K. C. Number C.
Okay. Locking in that?
It only seems to work for David, but C is also what I'm picking now, too.
Okay. Locking in C. That is incorrect. It was B, 400.
Well, that's not that bad. Suck it up.
Dang. Comparison is the thief of joy, Ethan. Can't compare.
That's not the phrase, but
Thief of
sure.
The thief of joy of being in a battle where people died. I mean, I guess to some, war is joy. Ethan, you're at 2 again. But yeah, reveals to the right.
Can I go left?
And this, it's currently walled off, but it looks like maybe a firework could break that.
If I put
That
on my
could be a
Batman
general
detective
one.
vision, this wall glows. But just this part of the wall. I'll come back later.
It's spray printed yellow, actually. David, your turn.
I'm gonna go. Let's hear the purple one.
In Galactic Conquest mode in Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005, how many credits is it to enlist more units? A, 1,000, B, 2,000, C, 3,000, D, 4,000.
Wow, really bringing back memories.
I played a lot
To
of this.
enlist more. I know, yeah. Conquest mode was great.
1 second.
I mean, such a great game. I'm gonna keep going, even though he
You're
said
good.
1 second.
You're good.
Damn. I was kind of thinking. I think 1,000 seems low. 2,000 seems right. I don't think it would be 3,000. I feel like it would be either 2 or 4. 4 seems like a lot. So I'm going to go 2,000. 2,000 credits to, say it again, to enlist soldiers?
Yeah, in Galactic Conquest mode in Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005, that Ethan's currently holding, how many credits is it to enlist more units?
List more units.
I'm going to check the
Maybe
manual.
it was, because maybe it was low. I'm actually going to change. I've been ignoring my gut here and going with my brain. I'm going to lower it. I feel like enlist more units was actually maybe the lower of the options, like the cheaper of the options. So I'm going to go 1,000. Final answer.
David's saying 1,000, locking it in. That is correct. David, somewhere in the deep part of your brain, you had that saved, maybe.
Yeah.
Can I read this in the manual?
Is it in the manual?
Acquisition. This is on page 20 in the single player section underneath Galactic Conquest. During the first phase, you can spend the credits that you have earned throughout victory to battle to construct new fleets, recruit new unit classes, or purchase bonuses. Additional fleets can be constructed at an open, friendly base planet. When you begin the campaign, only the basic soldier class will be available to your team. New units can be recruited during any turn and will be permanently joining your forces. You can also purchase up to 3 bonuses at a time. Bonus can be used before a battle to enhance your forces or cripple the enemies. And there are other sections. I was hoping that they would say how many.
You'd hope to have it in there.
I was expecting.
Not that I was gonna say it, but like I was hoping.
All right, well, we already know what it is. Good luck, Ethan. You got this.
2 health. You can go right, or you can go right further down.
I'm gonna go right. So I'm gonna test over here.
All right, green. In what city did European nations come together in the late 1800s to formalize claims to territory in Africa? A, Budapest, B, Philadelphia, C, Brussels, D, Berlin.
I'm gonna take a look at the red question.
Okay. In 1903 to 1909, how much of 4th of July deaths were connected to explosive incidents resulting in tetanus? A, 15.2%, B, 27.5%, C, 66.7%, or D, 75.3%.
I could eliminate 2 of those.
Yeah, you have that Signal group chat. You can ask
I
him.
got P. Hegs's phone. 2 uses, so I could use it now and still use it later. It's an hour and later. Or later. Remember when the journalist that was accidentally added to this group was like a dweeb and left it?
Yeah, he should have just kept. He should have waited to just leak as much shit
Right.
as possible.
Do your goddamn job.
And
as a
he didn't
journalist.
even originally leak all of it too. He just said I was in this group chat accidentally, and then he like the next day said something. It was like, no, you need a video recording of the entire conversation. Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the phone on this
All right.
question. You write down the 2 possible answers.
For the red one,
Options, yeah, for the red one. Because Dave has all the
uh,
easy ones on the left side of the ice.
I'm gonna say I'll do B and C. If it possibly, one of these is the correct answers.
And
From
so
in
these
1903. In 1903 to 1909, how much of 4th of July deaths were connected to explosive incidents that resulted in tetanus?
Either 27% or 60. This was a time where things.
Yes, Mickey was bargain.
Who
He
else
knows.
would
He
that
knows
be?
the answer. He was freaking out.
This was a time where a lot of things didn't have. We didn't have OSHA back then. You know what I mean? I don't think because we didn't have a lot of safety regulations back then. 1903 to 1909 or 1906.
1903 to 1909.
So the answer of
years.
66.666 repeating rounded up to 66.7% sounds right to me. But like, sorry, can you read the question itself again? I want to know the phrasing.
Yeah.
One more time.
In 1903 to 1909, how much of 4th of July deaths were connected to explosive incidents resulting in tetanus?
Okay, so this isn't necessarily saying 100% of the deaths are from explosions, necessarily. But man. And I know obviously the answer isn't A or D, but what was A?
A was 15.2% and
Wait.
D was 75.3.
Okay, so there was an option that was lower. It's key. And there was an option that was higher, which is key. I'm going to say better work. David is better work. C.
Hey, I gave you good luck.
66.7%.
And if you're locking that in,
I am.
okay, that is correct.
Thank you.
It is 66.7%.
Wow.
And you have 1 use left on your
Nice.
Signal
Well, it would
group chat
suck if
on
I
that
used
phone.
it and then also lost. So, you know, they put this on Steam. I have it on Steam. FYI. I know the Zoomers are playing the EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 nostalgically
say
right
it's
now.
good.
And it looks great, but like, you know, it ain't no original made by Pandemic.
And they don't even have Conquest mode, I don't think, in the newer ones either.
No, it was a Battlefield type.
Did they have like? They didn't even have.
They
the
had loot
Star
boxes.
Ship fights, right?
No, they
I think
made
they
That was the best. Is where you could fly out
Right.
of your ship into the other ship and then get out.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that was
pretty crazy at the
The
time.
the studio that made the story mode to EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 made a X-Wing game afterwards. So I think that's if they did, it would have been in the single player story mode that they then. Okay. Thank you,
right.
David. Feel free
David.
to check off my pink, my blue, and my red because you know.
Dang, you used your recharge plate too?
Because
Yeah,
he got the first
Dang, dude.
because I had all the
correct,
hard
yeah.
questions.
Okay.
Ethan's still at 2. David, you're still
I'm
at
pulling
3.
for you.
It
Yeah.
doesn't feel
Okay.
3.
Like it.
Go. I'm going to red. I feel like you're hiding this thing downtown.
All blank MLB teams this year will play on 4th of July. A, 15, B 25, C 30, D 40.
This is just how many teams are there?
Yeah. How many MLB teams, huh? Can you
Major
post
League
the
Baseball.
numbers? Yeah. Wow, I don't think it's 40. 40 is a lot of teams. Wow, 30 is a lot of teams too. 25. I mean, that's a team for every other state. That could definitely be a possibility. I guess I could see 30. I'm gonna go 25. Final answer.
Locking that in.
Locking it in. Show
David,
me the firework, baby.
that is incorrect. It was 30.
Oh,
You're on it. You
David-
didn't trust your C. You didn't trust your
I
C.
didn't-
Can I interject
yeah.
here, David? If
Yes.
all the teams are playing, how would an odd number of teams play?
I didn't think about that. I really did not.
There's
I
think
just
didn't
a
even think about
third.
that part in your
There's a
question, to be
third
fair.
team just waiting for their
Well,
turn.
I don't want to hear this rhetoric from someone who already used a recharge plate. All right.
At least I wouldn't have wasted on this question.
So up ahead, you see an
All right.
item and
Ooh.
a blue.
Okay.
Which is so stupid.
Come on.
Joey Chestnut's
God.
mouth. The goat at eating
Dang.
glizzies digests one question, has a one-time use.
Wow. So I just win a question automatically.
Yep, just eat it.
Hell yeah, dude.
So David, you found that.
Dang. That's the face of passion.
I do want a hot dog right now.
Go buy one. You're an adult.
Remember when
Speaking
you
of
tried to
adults,
gaslight me into not admitting the fact that you used that phrase because I used it a lot 10 years ago?
I didn't even think about that.
All right. I want to test this maroon one.
Bottom one.
Yes, please.
At this year's Rockville Independence Day celebration in Maryland, how long is the fireworks display? A, 10 minutes, B, 20 minutes, C, 30 minutes, D, 1 hour.
1 hour is a lot. It is either C or D. Because otherwise the other two options are lame. I've definitely seen fireworks that were like over 20 minutes. You know what I mean? I've definitely seen them. And that's like here. You know what I mean? Where it's not... Like, Devin didn't just Google a random town. This has to have been is somewhat important of an event, you know? And if only there was someone who still lives in Maryland in the chat who can answer this on my behalf for me, who may or may not be at work right now. Bad reception. It was a 10, 20, 30 in an hour.
10, 20, 30, yep, an hour.
I've heard this question. I'm tempted to answer it, but I do want to hear what this purple one is. Just in case this one is obvious to me.
In this 1983 film called Conquest, our main character, Ilias' main weapon of choice was given to him by his father. What is the weapon? A, Excalibur, B, a big axe, C, sickle, or D, a magic bow?
Sweet. I'm going to say for the
There's
Maryland...
also the green question up there, too.
Oh, I didn't listen to that? I thought I did.
Oh, yeah, you did. In what city did European nations come together in the late 1800s to formalize claims to territory in Africa? A, Budapest, B, Philadelphia, C, Brussels, or D, Berlin?
Man, I know it's Conquest is the theme, but still the 4th of July aspect makes me want to say it has to be an American city, because why else would he pick it? But still conquesting Africa. Man, I'm not confident on really any of these to any degree. I don't have the easy questions like David does. Pick an even number of baseball teams. But for this Maryland question down here, I do think it is between 30 minutes and an hour. And so I'm going to. And what was? Can you actually read off that question for me?
At this year's Rockville's Independence Day celebration in Maryland, how long is the fireworks display?
Rockville's. Yeah, okay.
Rockville, Maryland.
I'm going to say an hour.
Locking that in?
Yes, please.
Ethan, that is incorrect. It's 20 minutes.
Really? That's lame. I'm sorry, but that's lame.
I mean, 20 minutes, I feel like, is a long time of just watching fireworks.
Lame. All right, I'm down to fucking one.
I feel like I'm confused because you started off by saying it's definitely not an hour, and then your final answer
I didn't
was
say that.
an hour.
I didn't say it was definitely not an hour.
Clip it.
Just yell clip
You were
it.
like, it's definitely not an hour. That's too long for fireworks. It's either C
I
or D.
didn't
And then I was
say
like,
that.
And then I was like, that's a weird.
Well,
Whatever.
C and D would have been wrong, regardless.
Yeah.
David, your turn.
All right.
You're at 2.
I am at 2. Can I hear this blue one? And then if I don't like it, I'm probably going to go up to the green.
Who enlisted Paul Revere and William Dawes on April 18th, 1775, to leave Boston and spread the alarm that the British garrison in Boston was setting out to raid the town of Concord? A. Joseph Warren. B. John Hancock. C. Samuel Adams. D. Elizabeth Houghton.
Huh. I've not heard of
Basically, the
Elizabeth
question is who is
Houghton.
enlisted Paul Revere and William Dawes for the British are coming.
Right. And basically just being like, who told them, like, hey, go
Hey, the British are
tell-
coming to the town of Concord, which call back to earlier, remember, you know,
Yes.
Concord Grapes, the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Welch's.
Almost had that
Mhm.
platinum.
Dang, I should have put
Who
one of these
did
guys
you
be
say
named
John
Welch's
Adams
just
was
so
one
you'd
of them?
think about that. Samuel Adams.
Samuel
A
Adams.
beer guy?
Joseph Warren, John Hancock, Samuel Adams, Elizabeth Houghton. Yeah, the beer guy.
Wow, I really kind of want to answer Samuel Adams. And I think I will. Samuel
Wow.
Adams. Final answer.
Boston's
I feel
own.
like I'm kind of thinking it might be the woman, but I think I am going to answer C. Samuel Adams.
All right. David says Samuel Adams is who told Paul Revere and William Dawes to say, hey, the British are coming. That is incorrect. It's Joseph Warren.
I would not have guessed that.
So he doesn't get enough credit.
All
Everyone credits Paul Revere and William Dawes for doing the thing, but who told him in the first place? Joseph Warren.
Yeah.
David, you're at 1 health.
All right.
But
is there anything over here? Oh yeah, I knew it, dude. I'm
firework.
I'm cranking on this left side.
All right, so if you hit that firework, just to make it
slam
easy.
on it. I roll my ankle. It really hurts.
Where's my tool? Nope. There we go. And it reveals, shoots over there, opens up a gap. It looks like you need one more, coincidentally, to open it up.
Come on, Ethan.
If I die, David never gets to solve this. So, all right.
I mean, there might be another one over here.
Check this green one. That's my plan. See what this green one is.
All right. Which country has more military bases in Iraq than any other country? A, United States. B, Brazil. C, Russia. D, Turkey.
Obviously, brain goes America, but it's probably Russia. But I could see Turkey being, no animal pun intended, the dark horse in this little thing here. And what was the other?
It was
Brazil.
Brazil.
I mean, I guess I don't really know anything. If the answer is Brazil, But maybe it's a trick thing where there are 0 of all of them, but 1 Brazil. And that would be the... Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, and this is military bases in Iraq.
Which country has more military bases in Iraq than other countries?
Right.
And you remember you have your items too. You have
Oh, yeah, it's right,
cherry
because
pie.
I'm going to have to use that cherry pie, because if I answer this wrong, I'm just dead. So I was going to save that for, like, the final boss, but I guess I have to use it now. Sucks. Because there's a recharge plate right up there. You know?
So are you gonna use it?
I have to. I would be dumb to not. You know
Marking
what I mean?
that down. All right, so you use the cherry pie, so you're now back at full.
Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm gonna say Russia.
Locking that in.
Yeah, I mean, I know they had places in Afghanistan, or their leftover ones in Iraq as well. I don't know. That's my only line of thinking.
All right, so you locking Russia in.
Yeah.
All right, that is incorrect. It's Turkey, actually, is the other one. Russia doesn't, to my knowledge, have any military bases in Iraq. Them not being allies with U.S. and Turkey in the NATO. But I was surprised by this. I thought it was the United States, and I looked it up, and it was Turkey was actually the one. But they are neighbors, so
Yeah, I guess that was probably.
But yeah, U.S. definitely installed more in the last 20 years. One of them being in Baghdad, one of the bigger ones.
Most of the 750 are there.
Revealing an item, though.
Cool.
Congrats.
David's turn.
You need it.
Hold on.
Read the item.
Oh, I was gonna. Didn't know if you wanted to.
No, I'll show it. You found Iceman's volleyball. All eyes on you, baby. Switch this question to a different one in the same category, and it has 2 uses.
Wow. Sure.
So it's the same category. So if you did that green one, you don't like it, you can switch it to another green one, assuming I have enough.
A category I don't like. All right, appreciate it.
Sweet.
All right, back to you, David. So you shot the firework, but
I did. I think I need to make it over there now.
And you have 1 HP.
Oh, I have 1 HP. Okay, so I'm gonna step on the plate.
You got the last 2 incorrect, so you're at
yep. Using the plate.
All right.
Honestly, I think I can just tank this. So, but I'm gonna look at the right one first.
The right one. Oh. What year did the U.S. Congress make Independence Day a paid holiday for federal employees? A, 1850, B, 1870, C, 1929, or D, 1938?
Can you post them?
Yep.
I could see it being 1929, although I'm just trying to think like Roaring 20s. But when did Roaring 20s come to an end? Was it like really more 1929, or was it actually 1930? Like we rounded to 30, but I don't remember. Man, I wish I remembered what I answered before.
Sad part is I do remember.
Wow. A paid holiday. Man, I feel like that had to have been later. I could see it being. I'm trying to remember like when, like the end of like Rockefellers was and stuff, and that maybe was when workers were getting a few more rights, like when unions started to pop up on the scene. And I don't know if it was as early as 1870, but it definitely could have been. I think I gotta go with 1870 because I don't think it's 1929. I mean, I could be definitely very wrong, and it absolutely could be 1938, but I think I just gotta pick one at this point. Well, actually, before I just step on it, let me hear the top one. Maybe smart about this.
13. In 1775, in the United States, what percentage of the American population lived in cities? A, 10%, B, 20%, C, 40%, D, 50%. In 1775.
I think I'm going to answer this one D, 50%. I feel like back then you kind of had to be close to a city. Otherwise you would like die in the woods. So I'm going to go 50%.
You locking that in?
Final answer. Yeah.
All right. That's for the one above.
Yes.
That is incorrect. It's
Oh,
10%. It was the polar
Wow.
opposite.
Oh,
I was thinking
wow,
the same
okay.
thing as David. Like,
wow. Okay.
A lot more rural
Okay. Interesting. Ooh.
farmlands. I
Okay.
mean, it's especially like in the South, obviously, they
Yeah.
were much more plantations based. But I was surprised by that number too. I thought it would have been like maybe 20, 30. But
Yeah, jeez.
yeah, 10% is definitely.
sorry, but our left
Um,
and right side, David has the letter A, I have the letter R, so together we make the American favorite assault rifle.
Yes, how did you figure that out so quick? Damn. And you found an item, David.
This
A
was
nice
going to be
little
just
item.
an actual hot dog this time.
That'd be really funny. You found Benjamin Martin's pistol from the hit movie The Patriot.
Oh my god.
Blast him. Eliminates one question completely, one use.
Damn.
So you have two items now. Both
Right.
destroy the question completely.
Yeah, 3 items total.
Yeah,
I
because
had
you have
items.
The bond.
oh, that's right. You have to give 1 health points to make the next 2 questions halved. All right.
I still have half a phone.
Ethan has half a phone, and you just got Iceman's volleyball. And you can either go right or you're gonna go up.
I'm going to take a look at this
General.
green one.
What year do historians generally make a distinction of when the first French colonial empire ended? A, 1650, B, 1789, C, 1814, or D, 1919?
And this, can you just read the whole thing again?
What year do historians generally make a distinction of when the first French colonial empire ended? I can put the dates in here.
Assuming this is in North America. This isn't like, yeah, they had something in the Bahamas briefly or something. I'm assuming this is actually relative to 1650, way too early. 1789, good, but it could also be 1814. 1919 would be wild, but I can still see there'd be like, well, we have these 10 acres, that's still ours. Like some weird, like, yeah, it's still around, you know, this embassy counts as the empire still. You know, a little technicality. Yeah, I mean, problem is right now, you know, I'm not gonna say it. I have 2 health points. I don't necessarily want to swap this away to another green question that I most likely will have even less of a confidence with. And I kind of want to save the phone. Half a phone left. I'm also now thinking to myself, the War of 1812, that was against British again. Canada was involved with that. That wasn't a French thing. But fuck it. It's not gonna be C, but I'm gonna say C. Because
Locking it in.
that feels the right. Wait. The French Revolution. Because this would have had to have been impacted either direction. Right? When was the French Revolution? They saw our revolution. They were like, oh yeah, we could do that better. I feel like that would have been closer to 1776 than. I'm going to say 1789, B.
Locking that in?
For the answer to this question, yeah.
That is incorrect. It was 1814.
Fuck me!
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you were so close. I didn't know it either. But...
And I'll say the first French
Same.
colonial empire is like, meaning like there was a second French empire. They mean like just like owning. It's like a different. I think the Habsburgs were, I think, part of that, and it switched over. So basically, it's like a new empire. And there's some land changes because of French Revolution, but also of other wars happening at the time. So that's when they
And I
agreed
talked
that.
myself into
But there was
a
a switch in
different answer.
leadership. I mean, your 1789 is like pretty good guess though. It's right in that general ballpark still. I threw 1919 in there because that was the end of World War One. I thought maybe might think of they were an empire to a certain degree up to that point.
I'm just a simple farm boy. I don't know any of these world politicans.
But looks like it starts to go up.
Brutal.
Back to David.
Ethan.
Back to David. You you have either to go this way or you can go down.
Also got that green one, right?
You do also have that green one.
I could go the green one. I feel like that's gonna add an extra question. But maybe I listen. I don't think I ever even listened to the green one, so maybe I'll listen to it just in case it's an easy one. But I'm probably gonna go. Purple.
You should do the other green one.
Yeah.
So number 2 for that's what I have it listed as. In 2023, the United States had military bases in how many countries? A 40, B 50, C 65, D 80.
Wow. Damn. I think. Can I listen to this purple one?
Sure. In Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, 1940, Ming the Merciless Emperor. Sorry, Ming the Merciless Empire. I fucked with a space there. The Merciless. Ming the Merciless Emperor is from what planet? A. Planet X. B. Jupiter. C. Mongo. D. Zeta.
I'm definitely gonna need you to post those chat. Already forgot.
What's it?
What was it? Something the Conqueror?
In Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, 1940, Ming the Merciless Emperor is from what planet?
Oh man. Mongo, Zeta. These are crazy. I mean, Planet X is, so classic. What year was this? Did it say in the
1940.
question?
1940.
Wow. Yeah, Planet X.
I didn't even
is
realize
such,
Flash
like, a
Gordon was
class-
this old. I thought it was 50s. I did not realize it went all the way back 1940. It's
Yeah,
kinda
well,
crazy.
this is what Lucas and what's his name? They grew up.
George Lucas,
Yeah.
made Star Wars after,
Spielberg.
Like the crawl in the
right.
beginning had the credits from Flash Gordon.
I kind of feel like this is so old that like they were still using normal planets as like, oh, there's probably alien life on there because they don't even know what they're talking about yet. So I'm gonna go B, Jupiter. Like that was the alien planet because they didn't know it was just gas and you couldn't have life on it.
Locking that in.
Locking it in.
That is incorrect. It was
Oh,
Mongo.
brutal. Oh, I was gonna guess C too. Brutal. Well, I'm gonna have to use an item next. So,
yeah, because you're at
we'll
one,
see.
right?
I could have literally have
I'm at
heard
one now.
good sounding justifications for all 4 of those answers. So
Fair enough.
I think I made up Zeta, and then Planet X is from think other movies, but I know it from Godzilla. A lot of the Godzilla movies use Planet X.
That sounds like a
and then
classic.
Jupiter is just like more of a kind of a bait where it's like
well,
they
we
work on it
actually
doing that.
not that I think that they would have known it existed back then, but there is a Planet X in our solar system. It's one of the Pluto-sized, smaller planetoids. It's also Cardin Balatro.
You really need to find this firework. We're cutting it close.
Yeah, we
here.
are. My items. I have half a phone, half a volleyball. So what's blue? What's this question?
Grievance 25 in the U.S. Declaration of Independence,
for which there were 27 in total.
Yes, this was number 25. What is this grievance about? A, British taxes on imported milk. B, the British hiring German soldiers to use against the 13 colonies. C, a recent assassination attempt on George Washington. D, the British burning American colony warships.
There was a prior question about these grievances, and I do not remember if there was a year attached. Part of me saying that out loud was to fish for whether or not Devin would say yes or no and say what it would be. I'm going to use my phone.
To eliminate 2 of them?
Yes, please. And please post the 2 leftover options into the chat, which our chat cannot read.
It's either B or C. The British hiring German soldiers to use against the 13 colonies, or a recent assassination attempt on George Washington.
Okay, so here's my thought process. Pretty sure this was real close to when we were like, yep, fuck you guys, independence, right? Therefore, I guarantee that they have tried to assassinate Washington. I have never heard of the British hiring German soldiers to use against the I've never heard of them doing that. The British were the biggest empire, so why would they need hire the Germans? But I don't really know everything, and I can easily see why there would be. I have 1 health, so I need to get this right. Otherwise, David has to
believe in you.
Somehow find another firework and drag me to the thing. This literally is coming all down to this. Now, if I were to use my volleyball, do I still only have 2 answers or 2?
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair, right? That's fair. I could use my second pie to get 2 more health. Makes sense if I use my second pie. I have 3. I don't, folks. Folks, write in the comments below on this video if you're watching this after the fact. Statistically, you are. What you think the correct answer is at this moment. Pause the video right now.
And then write it.
And then write it. Boy. Now, this is an ice wall between David and I. So I can't really see or hear David all that well. But I could definitely try to be like, David, thumbs up or down.
Like,
no, I gotta trust my gut because the message of this entire thing is you can't rely on others. They always let you down. You have to trust yourself.
No, I think it's actually about Conquest, but it could be a secondary theme.
Well, not from experience. I'm gonna go with C. Now, I will say this before I lock this in. I'm going to be pissed if C is not the correct answer, but it's like, this was the 26th grievance. It's one of them, but not number 25. In fact, I will be mad if all 4 of these answers were grievances, and which one is number 25? I don't fucking know.
Hey,
I thought there were over 30.
I'll stay behind the Wizards curtain.
I
I
don't-
made up 3 of these.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't want you to try to
Only one of these is
look down on me
real.
here. I'm gonna say C. B doesn't make sense to me. C makes sense to me. But I'm just thinking. Now David's rolling his eyes over there. I'm just thinking.
Well, you're just going back and forth a lot. I'm just
Grievance
like, pick one.
25 in the U.S. Declaration of Independence is about what?
Oh, in the
British
Declaration
hiring-
of
The British hiring German soldiers to use against 13 colonies, or a recent assassination attempt on George Washington.
I'm gonna say C. Final answer.
Locking that in?
I said final answer.
All right, Ethan's locking it in. That is incorrect. It's not.
Oh no!
God.
I didn't think this would happen.
Wow.
So as you die in the plate there, yeah, but it looks like
Wow.
to make it worse, there was a recharge plate right after
Oh
this.
my god, dude.
Ethan's
That is
out.
truly brutal.
So David, you gotta, I guess, look for
Oh
another
my god.
firework. Looks like.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm at 1 health also. Wow.
Why would they hire the
can I-
Germans?
Can I
Because they were low on resources. That's even why they raised taxes
They
in the first
didn't
place on
want
the
an
colonize
answer.
on the because they raised so like a lot of the
Ugh.
taxes started because of their wars with the French, 7 Years' War we were talking about earlier, and so they were already low on money and resources, and then they worked with the Germans because the Germans hated the French, and that the French were helping the Americans in the American Revolution. So, and the British felt, and the colonies felt that was before the French got involved. They felt it was cheating, basically, that the British were using hired guns to. I think there was a name for them. I don't remember what they were, but
The bitches from Germany.
but yeah, David, you're you do have 2
Oh, no.
things though. You do have 2 things that destroy questions.
I know.
Which I could have had one
I'm-
of those.
I might have to. You had 3.
Yeah, but you
things starting out.
had the good. You found the good ones though. That's the distinction. I'm dead. What am I saying?
All right. Wow. What is this question next to me to my right?
What year did U.S. Congress make Independence Day a paid holiday for federal employees?
Ugh.
1815. Sorry, 1850, 1870, 1929, 1938. It was at the top of our message here, the first line.
Yeah, I guess let me blast him away. I will say I'm gonna guess just for the fun of it. 1929. I think that was one of the answers.
Yep.
But I'm gonna blast it away with my pistol. I just want to see if my guess.
All right,
is
you're
right.
using that pistol, and I think
Yep.
that has a one-time
One
use.
Yep. It's gone.
All right, you blast this away. And the answer would have been 1938. You were at one point you were talking about doing 1870, which was the original
I
answer
know.
for the
Right.
other one.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
I had to stop
Jesus.
myself from saying that. I'm sorry. I'm dead still.
There you're good.
Oh, okay. Oh man. So I step here. Oh man, I got a heal too. Great. This is awesome. All right. We're
So-
cooking now, boys.
So if you step on that, it does blow up, and it does it does blow up this here, so it does make it opened now. So you could grab Ethan's body and bring it back.
Yeah. I do need to answer one more question though.
You
so
do. You need to go through that 12.
yeah,
Or
and I'm
number
gonna
12 for me.
heal. So I'm up to 3.
Yep. You're gonna go to that one. Which I had. Yeah.
Okay. What is this question?
Yep. That is in 2015, Americans spent an estimated blank $1 billion to celebrate Independence Day. A 1, B 2, C 3, D 4.
What year was it?
2015.
2015.
I feel like I've heard
B,
you
2
ask this
million.
question before.
Final answer.
What is it?
B.
2.
Yep.
That is incorrect.
God, I'm on a losing streak.
It
Okay.
was 1, just 1 billion. It's a measly 1.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have heard me say it before because I accidentally swapped a question at some point. And
what I'm thinking of is the question about candy that we had in the previous one.
Oh,
How much
yeah,
money
yeah.
do we spend on candy in 1 year?
Yeah. All right. So if you grab Ethan's body,
I don't consent.
Yes.
you can go to the one to his right up there, or you can go
Yeah,
to our boss fight.
I drag him up. We go onto this brick here.
All right. And there's a dead end. So you're healed. Ethan's back. You
Yep.
do have one item, David, with the chestnut mouth,
Yeah.
And I have the volleyball.
and you have the volleyball.
Should we? I think we should go up here and just see, because we have another heal. Before
I'm
the
sorry,
boss,
it's
so
my turn
go
now.
up.
You're both
We're
together
together
now,
now.
so
Yeah.
And we'll just use one of them, just one of the icons for.
Delete David as fast as I can.
Let's listen to this top one here.
Yes, I agree. For fun. For family.
For strategy.
How many designs has there been of the United States flag? A 17, B 20, C 27, D 50.
Okay, so we have.
It's got to be like 17.
Well, think about it. How many times do we add states?
Yeah.
Right? Even like the
13.
fact of like, okay, we didn't get Hawaii and Alaska at the same time, right? So you know what I mean? Like, and then even then, like, you know, you're thinking about the what's it called flag, the lady made with the circle of the 13 stars. Was that the first one though? Are we counting other options that were available that they maybe flew here and some flew this one over there and then they settled on one?
Instead of, I mean, before we make it complicated, let's just do a little bit of math here. If we start out at 13 as the first one, right? And then let's assume they made a new flag for every state they added. So that's what, 37? So that would be like 38. What is that, one of the options? No.
17, 20,
Okay.
27.
I'm sure
So
they have
skipped
made
them.
several states at once though before, where like we purchased this territory, you know what I mean? And then
So then maybe it's 27 then. There was 10 times where they combined states.
and we have another recharge plate, so
Yeah, I agree. C.
but
Final answer.
But I do agree with you that C does sound more correct. 50 just would be shocking if that is actually true, coincidentally, that it is 50.
Yeah.
Locking that in?
Lock it in.
27. That is correct. Good intuition there. That is correct. 27 editions of it. And up ahead.
You think that there's a guy who has all of them collected?
The original ones? Or just like in general?
Yeah, he's got actual flags.
All right, so you find a firework here.
What is going on? Okay.
Or
A
we step on
firework
we
for
step on the
what?
firework.
Yeah, you shoot the firework,
Yep.
and it will go. Whoops. We'll go, let's say, here. Looks like it just kind of shot off the side here and made a little
Okay.
hole over here.
Okay.
Can we hear this red one here? I just want to make sure we're going into it full items. Crank through this.
Red one.
Crank through this left side.
Red
if we're
one.
looking from
You
it.
want a red one question?
Yep.
How much
Give
money
me-
did
give me
Red
the
One make
blood.
in the box office? The Safe Insane 4th of July movement started in Cleveland in what year? A. 1908, B. 1943, C. 1969, D. 2001.
This would have fun if it was 2001. It would be funny enough right before 9/11. I think it's got to be one of the last two options there. Safe and sane. Would they have used that kind of terminology? Sane? I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Insane in the
All right.
membrane.
Cleveland,
I'm going
Ohio.
with Ethan. D. Final answer.
C. 1969.
Oh, I was gonna say D. But,
D. That's what I said. D.
Oh, okay.
Oh, D.
D is in
2001.
dog.
Right before 9/11.
Yep.
That is incorrect. You gotta go the opposite. It's 1908. Safe
Oh.
Insane 4th of July movement because some people were getting killed from
Dang.
fireworks
Bunch
or
of
drunk drive
squares.
or getting drunk, whatever. So it was a way for them to, and it's still a movement today. I looked it up. There's still like a push to like be more responsible on 4th of July. But it started in Cleveland by some dude. I forget his name.
Cleveland Brown.
What do we got? Is this a dead end?
Nope. You found an item.
Oh, heck
Nice.
yeah.
Good
Worth it,
idea.
worth it.
Yes.
Okay.
Worth it. Let me twerk it.
This last item.
Why isn't it? Is it not here? Did it go to the wrong folder? Oh no, I didn't put it in the right
It's
folder.
3 cherry pies.
All right, you found Martian death ray pistol. Ack, zap one question, one time use. So now you have.
Amazing.
Like I
think you
just took an
questions.
actual screen grab, and this one's a significantly bigger image than all the others. I didn't like this movie as a kid.
So I think in total items you have Joey Chestnut's mouth. David has that one. You have the Liberty Bond, which gives 1 health point. The next 2 questions have half their answers removed. One-time use.
Hey, why don't we use that now and then step on the recharge plate?
I'm trying to think when we did the other bosses. I think it was the end questions though that had the million answers. The first couple had like, but I guess if we do that, I mean, we have 2 skips.
Right.
All right, I'm with it. Let's do. I'm gonna use that now.
Using the Liberty Bond, so you're going to be at 2 health, but then you have the next 2 questions will have half their answers removed.
Yeah, really at 1 health, and then because I think I took a
All right.
damage. But,
So-
and then we heal.
Yep.
Yes.
So as you step on this plate, he says, "Finally, it took you a while to get up here. Did you like my little game that had you split up?
No.
You know, sometimes you got to divide and conquer to, win the war, which, will hopefully not a precursor because I'm going to win and beat you guys right here. But, I divide and conquer, and now you're back together. And I know that maybe you fought some other bosses before and they do their own gimmick and whatnot. And I'm going to do the same here." And he throws you a bow
Oh no!
that looks exactly like his. And then he shoots his arrow behind you and ices you in with him. Let's see if I can do this
You're
correctly.
not gonna charm us with your cool moves.
But he shoots an arrow behind you, and he says, "Your lives won't be at stake here. Well, not in the traditional way. Every question you get wrong, I'll shoot an arrow at you, and if you move, maybe in time it'll freeze, but you'll have to see if you can keep moving along. But for fairness, because you conquered my board, I think it's fair that we're on the same level playing field. With this bow and arrow, every time you get the question correct, you get to shoot it at me, and we'll see who's the last standing. So we'll begin. And how we'll do this is you'll roll a d20.
Davey, you can go ahead. I don't understand the rules. Also, you sound like my friend Devin.
5.
5. All right. Before the Arab conquest of Egypt, overseen by Rashidun Caliphate, who conquered and occupied Egypt for a decade. Sorry, let me just say that better. Before the Arab conquest of Egypt, overseen by the Rashid Caliphate, who conquered and occupied Egypt for a decade. A, the Byzantine Empire. B, the Sasanian Empire. C, the English Empire. D, the French Empire. Or E, the Gupta Empire.
Now we do have half of the questions, right? Or whatever the thing is.
Yeah,
use
so
the-
I'll put these down and I'll remove 2. It is not the French Empire or the Gupta Empire. Before the
Byzantine.
Arab conquest of Egypt, overseen by the Rashidun Caliphate, who conquered and occupied Egypt for a decade.
Byzantine is sticking out to me.
Yeah, same. Okay. I'll answer A, Byzantine Empire.
All right, Byzantine Empire. That is incorrect. It's the Sasanian Empire. Byzantine
heard of
Empire
them.
was who they took it from, though. So you're in the
Oh.
right spot.
Okay.
So as he shoots an arrow to you guys, you get the opportunity to move where you want, either left or right.
So it's like a chessboard almost, where we're
Yeah.
like eliminating spots. We gotta trap
Correct.
them.
Yeah.
I think we move forward, huh? We don't want to
can
trap
duck under
ourselves
it.
to one side.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so
Okay.
you guys duck under it.
Yeah.
And behind you is now an ice block. All right, roll another d20.
But the ice lands on the recharge plate, which then heals the ice, so it's water again.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Oh, sure. 20?
Yep. Was that a 14?
Yep.
On the 100th anniversary of American independence, what group crashed the centennial celebration at Independence Hall in Philly? A, the KKK. B, women suffragists. C, slave abolitionists. D, British sympathizers. Or E, a Canadian tour bus.
I was going to joke and say the KKK.
Huh.
But I'll eliminate 2 of these. I got to eliminate 2 of these.
Yep.
And that'll be the last time. It is not the British sympathizers or slave abolitionists. So it's either A, B,
Okay. And
or
I
B.
don't think it's women suffragists because
And
I mean I guess they could have been.
when you say crash, you mean like, hey, so we crashed this party?
Crashed the centennial celebration at Independence Hall in Philly.
Okay.
For whatever reason,
my brain was like, this is on a boat. And
it's at Independence Hall in Philly. So on the
Okay.
100th anniversary of American independence, what group crashed the centennial celebration at Independence Hall in Philly?
so it would be
When was the Civil War?
Be 1876. I don't think there would be a tour bus. I'm gonna throw that out there too.
Yeah, fair. True. Good point. When was the Civil War? Like, I feel like KKK is a good answer.
Women's suffrage wouldn't have been for like another 50 years.
Well, I
Fortunately.
was thinking that as well, but then I was like, oh, but they probably were protesting for a while
Oh,
before
sure.
that. Um, are we feeling stronger, KKK?
I
Got him. This is
towards
my
this
whole plan to make
answer.
him say he's
Don't
pro
clip that.
KKK.
Don't clip that.
Clip it, clip it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's either A or B. Obviously. Yeah, I'm with you, David, on A.
Think the KKK crashed the centennial celebration at Independence Hall in Philly?
Well, but why would they? That's the other question too. Why would someone crash?
Of like they,
For
I feel
women's
like it
suffrage,
makes
it's
sense.
obvious, right? We're
But
protesting.
KKK, they're like protesting what it's becoming. Because I feel like that's why I was trying to figure out when the Civil War was. Like
Right.
if it was after, they would be like mad that
I feel like the Civil War
Black
was
people
like
barely had rights at that point.
right. Maybe it was women's suffragists.
I answered the last one, so I'll let you take the chance here. I don't
Sure.
really feel strongly either way, honestly.
You know what? I will say, hey, why not? Women can vote. B.
Bold. Locking that in?
You know what? These women, they're not B for bold. They're not just B for bold. They're B for beautiful. They're B for brave.
Big beautiful woman.
Yes. Yeah. My answer is BBW. Yep, you got it.
Locking in B. That is correct. Good job.
Great job,
Nice.
Ethan.
Yeah, 18. So it was about 10 years after. No, not 10 years, like 5-6 years, whatever. I always forget the exact years of the Civil War, but it was 1865 was when slaves were freed. So KKK was definitely a close choice, but they probably wouldn't have been allowed in Philadelphia. I don't think at that time. But women suffragists, yes, women been asking to vote for a long time. It took another 50 years for them to get that. But Susan B. Anthony, I think, was part of this group, I believe.
Hey, that's a Rochester question.
Yes.
Speaking about the KKK, I saw on Twitter today an old flyer. A KKK, this flyer, this message is to the black community, saying that if someone is talking to you about Marxism and communism, to report it to the KKK.
Oh my god! Did you know like KKK is not technically on the domestic terrorism list still?
Remember when we were in like 8th grade and we found out they still have a website?
Yeah, I know. We looked at it because we thought it wouldn't exist, and then it did. And
we
then
looked it up on my Nintendo Wii because it had the internet browser.
Speaking of internet browsers, roll a d20. You shot at him, and he moved over to the right.
Okay.
16. What year did Independence Day release in theaters? A. 1991. B. 1996. C. 1999. D. 2002. E. 2009.
I feel I haven't seen this movie. I think it's 90s. Will Smith. Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, I could see 1999.
That was also the year The Matrix came out.
1999.
Or at least that's when the movie takes place. I'm pretty sure it also came out that year.
Well, then he wasn't probably in 2 movies, right? Or Matrix. I was thinking Men in Black for some reason. Okay. Do we want to say 1999 then?
It is obviously not 2009. And
yeah,
if it was 2002, I would have seen commercials for it as a child. But also, we would have been like, oh my god, of course, post 9/11, we need to have a movie called Independence Day, even though it is about aliens. So I don't think it's 2002.
All right.
I can see it being 96, but 91 seems way too early because it's Will Smith, and 91. Was he even in Fresh Prince at that point? You know, way too young. I think
I mean, he is
99.
older than us. He
Yes.
could have been. He
Huge.
definitely could have been. I'm just saying it's not like he would be a child at that point. Like he could have been in his like late teens, 20s in 1991.
I don't think the show itself was that early. But I think we're thinking too hard on this. 2009. No, 1999.
Like in 1999?
Yep.
David's turn to lock in, but
Final answer.
1999. That is incorrect. It's 96. 96 films. It
damn.
also has
Oh,
Jeff Goldblum's in it. I think who else is in that movie? There's some other people. I'm trying to remember their names, but some 90s actors. But 90s is definitely in the right ballpark. So he shoots the
Okay.
arrow at you. Which way are you moving?
I think we move up, right? We make a wall.
Yes.
Great. You're not trapped in here with me. I'm trapped in here with you.
What?
Classic.
All right.
D20, please.
Ooh, lucky
13.
13.
Oh, I'm glad we got this one. Last year, on the way back from Bryn getting her wisdom teeth out, she saw a sign for Jurassic fireworks and said, "Oh, it's Jurassic Park." How many locations of Jurassic fireworks are there in Colorado?
Oh my.
A 3, B 4, C 5, D 6, E 7. Yeah, she saw it was like for the fireworks, and she was like so happy that because she was still high that she was like, "Oh my god, it's Jurassic Park!" She like, "We gotta go." I'm like, "It's not Jurassic Park, unfortunately. It's fireworks."
Because Devin is so
I'm-
excited for this this question, I want to use the volleyball and have it be something else.
I can do that.
I'm kind of thinking this is maybe an easier question because in my mind, he wouldn't make this a question unless it was like a ridiculous amount. Like I'm thinking like 7, right? Like he wouldn't make it a question if it was only, I mean, 3 is a lot still, but would he be like, oh, I gotta like include this in this game because this is a crazy fact, you know?
I can see that being the case. But I don't know. Devin loves his Colorado. I don't know why.
I don't think it's that big of a deal if we get this one wrong.
How much health are we at? We each are down 1, right?
It's no health, right?
Oh, there's no health?
No health. No, he said you're
Can
playing for your
we?
lives in a different way.
Yeah. Can we like
arrows.
if he moved here, can we move into his space or we can't move into his space?
You can't move into space. I would just say like, oh, he pushes you away or something. So
Okay. So
you
if
gotta
we got this
basically
wrong,
you
we
gotta
would-
shoot him with the arrow, and he has to shoot you with the arrow. Like this is what, yeah.
Yeah. So this actually is important because if we get shifted out into this side, he has more squares to go in because we blew up one on this side.
True.
So maybe we do we have anything to make this easier?
I have the volleyball, which will make it a different question of the same category. I imagine it's just roll another d20, but
Yep.
you have the 2 instant kills, right?
Do we have 2 more? Because we got we have 2 total, right?
Yeah, you have the Joey Chestnut's mouth, and then you have the Martian Death Ray pistol.
Okay.
Which both eliminate a question completely.
Do we use it here?
That or roll a different question. I'm not confident in any of these options.
If we use it here, we move here. His question, he can't move into us. He has to move here. Our question, we move here. I think we win if we use this.
Go for it.
All right, I'm going to use the Joey Chestnut's sloppy wet mouth.
Okay, and to eliminate this question completely,
Yes.
the answer was 5. It was C. You just had to trust your C gut again.
Gotcha. Would not have got that.
But so you shoot at him though. So since you got it correct, so
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah. So
Maybe we should have gotten it wrong.
he'll move here.
Okay. This is fine. Slowly tracking.
And he's on a horse, by the way. Just remember that he's pretty. It's pretty
I
cool.
don't see a horse.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, he's on a horse. A big.
Oh my god! You know what I
white
just
horse.
realized? Because I'm now thinking of that thumbnail. I'm glad I picked the beer because in the thumbnail, my dude was the one holding the beer,
Oh,
and David
That's
David
funny.
had the lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, but he picked the spotlight. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Roll another d20.
15.
Did we have this
I
one? I
don't
don't think
think
so. No.
Yeah. And rolling
Via teleconference on July 4th, 2024, President Biden and Vice President Harris remarked on Independence Day. What was Biden's first word? A, the, B, today, C, America, D, ho, E, God.
Ho is crazy.
Oh,
start-
let me break it down for you.
It's H-O, ho.
Yeah. But it could have
Well,
been
he didn't
one of
call
his, like,
Kamala a hoe, you
stutters.
know?
He
Yeah.
could have been like,
hello, everyone.
hello.
This is from the official transcript, too, by the
Yeah.
way. Like, I didn't watch this and guess. This
Ho,
is from the
ho,
official statement that's on the
It's
White
Christmas
House website.
in July. Like, what else? The today
Today's a
America,
strong-
ho,
yeah.
God.
Today is a strong way to start a speech. Today, American Independence Day.
Is
this thing on?
Anyways.
Is this thing on?
That's his
America
favorite
has
thing to do.
never
Anyways.
been better. We're building back better. We're not going
Than we
back.
have ever before. This year is anyway.
Yeah, because this was last year, right? It was 24, so this
July
is
4th,
like
2024.
yeah. So his brain is fried. This is when we were like, "Why are you still running? Get the one that can talk normal to at least try." So I could see it being ho. And
Do we answer it for the memes? I'm not opposed.
I'm not opposed, either. But if we're being serious, what would we think it would be?
Today or America? Because I'm just thinking about, I mean, obviously this was written by a speechwriter. They're gonna use a strong word to start it. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna start with the.
SpongeBob did
You
in
know?
that essay. You can start with God. God damn these hoes, America today.
It could. God, well.
you figured it out.
Oh,
That was the
yeah.
correct order.
He could have started it with "God bless America." I mean, that's very possible too.
God bless Israel, America. I love APAC. Jack.
I love Apex Legends.
APAC Legends. Everyone's playing it in Congress these days.
All right, what are you thinking, Ethan? We gotta wrap this up here. We got about 10 more questions left.
Yes.
Maybe not that many, but
I want to say ho because I want it to be right.
all right. Ho, final answer.
Locking that in.
Locking it in.
That is correct. He said ho ho ho.
Yeah.
He says ho ho ho.
Yes. In the official statement, like I looked up him like 4th of July official speech, and his first words are ho ho
Oh
ho.
my god. He's just like ho.
Was he
ho,
making
ho.
a Christmas in July joke?
I didn't watch the video. Maybe I should have, but he didn't mention Christmas in the rest of the speech. So he might have just been going like maybe just them and be like ho ho ho.
Okay, wow.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
All right, you shoot at him, and
Yep.
he moves
Okay.
down.
Yep. Starting to trap him here.
All right, D20, hit me.
That's you.
I just did. I went. Oh, I'm not pink. I'm yellow.
7. Holy Conquest is a notable passive skill in what video game? A. Age of Empires. B. Path of Exile. C. Baldur's Gate. D. Skyrim. E. Borderlands 2.
Holy Conquest, a passive skill. Skyrim doesn't sound right. Baldur's Gate, that would be the first game, unless he's. Oh no, because he says Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's Baldur's Gate. Holy Conquest.
Is a notable passive skill in what video game?
Oh, well, Holy Conquest, Age of
Not
Empires
Skyrim.
could have dealt with the Crusades. Path of
I
Exile is a
think it's
Diablo
Empires.
clone, if you didn't know. So like,
I mean, let's go Age of Empires then.
yeah.
All right. A. Age
Age
of
of Empire?
Empires.
Locking that in?
Final answer. Yeah.
That is incorrect. It was Path of Exile. Notable passive skill. Everyone knows it.
Okay.
Damn.
So he shoots the arrow at you. Which way are you going?
In.
This one.
Yep.
Trapping him in here with you. Okay. D20. Okay. See what happens here. 6.
Wow, we really have not rolled in same
I know.
number
I'm
yet.
waiting for you to.
Well, it's a 5% chance you roll any number.
The Meiji Restoration restored imperial rule to Japan under Emperor Meiji. What year was the Meiji Restoration? A. 1810. B. 1868. C. 1913. D. 1939. E. 1945.
I've definitely heard of this. I'm trying to if I can visualize these numbers.
I mean, 1945. Did they have an empire after World War II?
I think this is literally. I think it is 1945 because this is their post World War II. Like I don't know that much about Japanese history, and I've heard this. Right, unless it's like when the Huns attacked, or not the Huns. Whenever attacked, that would be like before the 1800s. So
Yeah, because I don't remember. I don't know what their dynasty or whatever was during World War II. In which case, it could have been 1939. Or wait, this is when it's changed.
can you read the question
Okay.
again for us?
Okay.
Sure. The Meiji Restoration restored imperial rule to Japan under Emperor Meiji. What year
Oh.
was the Meiji Restoration? Like when did it start?
Sorry, then it's not 1940.
Yeah.
But I've definitely heard of this.
So maybe 1939 then. Right?
No,
Start of World War II.
Hirohito was the name of the emperor, right? Or something like
okay.
that.
I do not know.
Yeah, because he was the one that like didn't give a shit that his people were getting nuked.
Okay. So then that's two answers gone. Do we also think it was not World War One? That's like 1913, right?
Right.
Trying to remember. Yeah.
Did they participate in the American Civil War? Because is it 1868? Joke for the record. Feel free to laugh.
So do we do 1810 then? Is that when I cannot for the life of me remember when the Civil War was. Was it 1960s?
It was the second half of the 1800s.
Okay. So maybe we're thinking either 1810.
Well, it's the Civil War doesn't matter. The American Civil War doesn't matter for Japan.
I understand, but I'm saying he probably threw that in there as a notable date.
Oh, maybe. Well, having listened to a lot of Devin's post-question debriefing, he definitely has in mind things we never think of. Well, you would have. I don't know if you would think of this or this. So like, there could be some Japanese event in 1868, assuming that's not the answer, that he's like trying to misdirect us with. Right?
Yeah, none of these are really Devin coded. It's hard to get a Devin coded answer.
Not consistent with it. Nothing
good. Wouldn't that make me consistently inconsistent?
True. Wow.
Hashtag
And then
deep.
you're no longer consistently inconsistent.
Didn't know he traveled back to 2011.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we answering
internet.
A or C?
We are going to answer collectively together forever. Straight. 1868.
1868, locking that in.
Yeah, why not?
That is correct.
Oh wow.
Yeah, buddy.
No,
Wow.
1800s was
Okay,
definitely
you're
the right
right,
spot. Because Meiji was the first new emperor of Japan, and then later on you had them starting to expand in World War II. Cool. So you shoot at him, he moves.
So wait,
D20.
we don't want to get the next one correct because if we do, he's going to block us in.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, a little bit of strategy here.
Hey, it's Faye. We
Wow,
got one.
Conquest,
There
baby.
we go. Well, it was my turn
Rolling
anyway, so
again.
here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Did we do 19? We did not do 19, so we'll do that one.
All right.
According to Vacasa, it's a website, Bethany Beach, Delaware is in the top 5 4th of July beach vacation destinations for 2025. But where did they rank it in the top 5? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4, E, 5.
Well, we all know that this year was the year of people coming in 5th and complaining about a tiny minority of people. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was 5th.
We're trying to get this wrong, right?
Yeah, if my thinking is correct, because if we get it wrong, then we have to move, and we want to move.
We move down.
We don't want him to move because he'll just block us in.
Yeah. I think I agree.
Unless Devin thinks that that's incorrect logic.
No, I mean, part of being a conqueror, you got to be strategic.
This
Sometimes
question,
you retreat to.
You know what? I'm using the volleyball. I want a different question. I want
Okay.
one that where we were like,
All right, well,
there is definitely an answer
Wait,
that
but
is wrong.
Why do we? I mean, we have like an 80% chance here of getting it wrong.
Yeah, but
if
we
we
don't
just
know
guess.
for a fact if any of these sound wrong. The fuck do I know? It could be any of these, right? We have a chance of getting
Well,
a
we're gonna
question
have-
that's obviously
yeah.
has at least something that's wrong.
So you're using the volleyball now?
We don't have that many questions left. I think it's worth using. Yes, I'm
All
using
right.
the volleyball. Besides,
All
what
right,
is it? It has two
we'll
uses,
go to
right?
we'll go
It has
to
2
8
uses.
since David rolled that one, just to make it easy. So you're swapping the question. You can't go back now. Remember this.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 8.
How much is Carnival charging per night for a balcony room on a Carnival Conquest 3-day cruise from Miami to the Bahamas on the 4th of July next year to celebrate America's 250th birthday? A, 415, B, 529, C, 720, sorry. A, 415, B, 529, C, 609, D, 729, E, 979. I'll just put this in check.
And these are in pesos, right?
Now I think
This is
I
per
actually
night.
have.
This is
I
per
think I
night.
actually have looked up prices recently for cruises for a year ahead. And
David's got
this
that
is a
money.
balcony. This is a
Balcony room on a
suite.
Carnival Conquest 3-day cruise from
Carnival's
Miami to
cheap.
Bahamas to the 4th of July next year.
They ain't no Viking.
America's 250s.
Year is usually a lot cheaper. I think the safe answer is 979 for getting it wrong. I could also see 415 being wrong. I feel like the answer is the 3 middle ones, one of the 3 middle ones.
Okay.
Probably 529.
I trust David.
A year, yeah. Yeah, 979 a year in advance
Per night.
per night.
This is 3 days.
Final
3-day
answer.
cruise, Miami to Bahamas, baby. 250. You're doing
Celebrate America by
E,
leaving.
Final answer.
E, $979. David, that's incorrect. What are you doing? What are you doing? He shoots the arrow at you if you move down.
Yep.
Oh boy. This is where the money is made, they say. Roll a d20. We'll see what we get.
All right, David, you go.
Okay. Yeah, what do we even want to do here? Do we want to lose or do we want to win?
We want to win because then he'll move in one direction, and then he only has one place to go.
Okay.
4. Cool. After the 1814 Treaty of Kiel, Greenland remained in whose possession? A. France. B. Sweden. C. English. D. Denmark. E. Norway. After the 1814 Treaty of Kiel, Kiel, Greenland remained in whose possession?
Doesn't Denmark own it now? Or at least is affiliated with it? Like how Canada is affiliated with Britain?
I have no idea.
All I remember is that in the recent, we're just joking, but what if we get away with this, MAGA, let's take Greenland. People are like, it's owned by Denmark. But, like, they also don't like
Okay.
Denmark themselves. Or something, you know, I don't know the full scope of that. I'm just stuff I've read. So that's why I'm thinking it's Denmark. But it could also be the case of, like,
Right.
it's exchanged hands. I don't know. You know, but Denmark is the only one
that's
where
the best answer we have.
yeah,
I feel like we have one more guarantee, but I feel like we saved that for the kill shot, you know?
perfect. Denmark locking it in.
Denmark locking it in. That is correct. Yep. I don't think it's changed since then. But yeah, it was a big battle. I think it technically was under Sweden and Norway. I think were combined at one point. I don't remember. I was reading a little bit about it. All right. So you shoot the arrow at him. He dodges.
Yeah. Okay. I think either way we win. Because if we lose, we move, we kill him. If we win, he moves and then we kill him. So I think it's checkmate, but let's hear these last two questions here.
Roll a d20, please.
My turn.
Let's do it. Oh, sorry.
First one that's in the chat.
Fine.
11. On Wikipedia, what's the highest number of British Army killed at the Battle of Yorktown, the last battle of the Revolutionary War? I'm just going to put these in the chat first because I'm going to mess it up. A 123, B 309, C 934, D 10,349, E 76,490.
And
On
these are in
Wikipedia,
these are in pesos,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
yes, pesos. On Wikipedia, what's the highest number of British Army killed at the Battle of Yorktown?
That's 76,000.
And this does include
people.
Germans.
I don't think 76,000 people were killed in D-Day.
I don't even know if they could fit there.
Right. That's like that's more than like stadiums of people. That's crazy.
This isn't like
all right, what's your gut feeling here?
I've never heard of any of this, so
C 934 final answer.
that
Locking that in.
seems fair.
Yeah.
That
Locking in.
is incorrect. It's 309. It's pretty.
Wow.
Dang.
8675.
But in the movie The Patriot, they made it seem like it was like 5,000 people.
309 people killed is a lot.
All right.
All right, you better
Let's
get
hear the
this
question,
right.
but we have our power here.
You do.
I will roll.
D20.
I will roll.
Not a nat
3.
20.
The new Spanish Empire, 1521 to 1821, was an integral territory entity of the Spanish Empire. The new Spanish Empire was an integral territorial entity of the Spanish Empire established by the Habsburg Spain. This is where I was getting confused with the French thing we were talking about earlier. Established by Habsburg Spain. What city wasn't part of its jurisdiction? So what city wasn't part of the new Spanish Empire jurisdiction? A, Havana, Cuba. B, Albuquerque, New Mexico. C, Hagatana, Guam. D, Mexico City, Mexico, or E, Singapore, Singapore?
The answer is F, Mars, because that's who's shooting the death ray. Right, David?
Okay, you shooting it?
Yeah, we're shooting it, but I feel like we should each guess here. I'm gonna say Guam.
That was my answer. Oh,
Should have been
you-
quicker.
I don't know. Mexico City, Mexico. This is probably
Alright.
the
Right.
If you're using the laser, you'll block it, and yeah, you'll shoot him. And part of me really wants me to be like, oh, he jumps the other side with his big horse.
Oh,
But I won't do that. You shoot him, and yeah, you freeze him into place. And seems that you've won the battle, at least for now.
Oh, so
And
how
as soon as
triumphant.
and as you freeze him, though, after conquest, there is always war, and you see, I think the color is a red horse, flying above you guys, and he goes. You see him, going away, but you're like, oh, we gotta chase him, and that's where we'll leave off for now. But congrats, you won again. This time a lot
thank you.
closer than
This
I
was pretty close.
was.
We made it though. We made it.
And I'll reveal the entire map here. So you did a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I did mess up at
Oh,
one
we
point.
were.
I did mess up
we
at one
were
point
close.
of having, I think, too many red ones. The Rockville, Maryland one was, I think, I got swapped. So I had to change that one for David at the end there. But I did better this time of not having to miss swapping them.
Great.
But yeah, thanks for playing. It was my main goal, was to find a way to divide you guys, and I also like the kind of theme of divide and conquer a bit, so forcing you guys to separate. But that's why I also was like, make sure we keep track of our items, because I'm going to separate you guys.
I mean, that makes more sense, right?
But I'm glad you guys went back for items. You guys almost went to this one charge plate down here a couple times. Like your
I
square
know.
was just revealing, not that.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing you kind of missed.
I remember David literally saying, "Why would he put a recharge plate that close to the entrance?" Literally about that area too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to put it just far enough to where it was like, oh, should we go for it? And I did I wasn't. My backup plan was this, and it happened where Ethan died, so I had to put a fire. Luckily, there was enough space for me to work
I
with.
could tell because you broke your pattern. Or it'd be like,
so,
why would you ever go to this question? Because you could walk around it.
Right. So I had to MacGyver that a bit.
So
but,
now here is my my next or I would like to place an order for the next one. Thank you for doing the
Place an
2-player
order.
thing. Have a fail state. And what happens if there's a fail state?
I already have an idea for the next.
Because I'm going to
one,
fail
so.
again. You know what I mean? David will get all the easy questions. I'll have to.
Yep. I answer all the hard questions. He gets the easy ones.
I mean, David
flubs
definitely
them.
did pretty better than I thought he was going to do on the left side. But my goal was to. I didn't really have a planned section too much. I was kind of leaning like David will go left, Ethan go right, but I was going to make it kind of a game time decision. But and I tried to not have all the.
Just who does he trust?
I try not to have too many I didn't want to show off all the questions right away, so made you think there was only 3 sets, and then be like, I also liked doing more of a wall to kind of be like, you got to earn some of these spots. So I really did try to keep in mind the whole conquest theme of all right, to you might have to retreat at parts. That's what kind of the main boss was. I wanted to just get rid of because you guys always do so well at the boss. So I was like, I'm going to make it different to where you got to do a certain amount of questions to kind of put him in a corner. But also, originally I was going to have him jump to each spot, so you had to go to
Oh my god.
But I was like, that'd be too much, I felt, once we got into it. But yeah, try to do something different. It wound up going longer than I thought. I thought you guys would find the fireworks quicker, I guess. But
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
We're spending probably 5 minutes at
yeah,
least on each
because there's actually one less category than the last one, though. So I did the only one that had extra ones was the blue ones. I had 14 questions. So blue was about the American independence total. The red blood color ones was about just like 4th of July in general. There was one like about what Ree Drummond's, the pioneer woman's top favorite 4th of July recipes are. I had one about California governor who said no more fireworks, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Green was, I like you kept saying geography. Green was just like, I try to make it more conquests or just empires and whatnot. So I did a lot about American military bases, UK bases, like modern times, but also did some old stuff. And then purple was, yeah, anything. Ethan figured that one out pretty quick. Anything with has conquest in it. Did video games, movies, comic books. I think that's the one you probably avoided the most. Then yeah, the boss had 20 questions, and I originally was going to make them all about empires, but I'm like, I wanted to get some of the other categories in there, so it leans kind of more about empires, but there's some from the other categories. And you did get every single item, which is cool. And I feel like you got the 2 harder questions in the Rochester one. 1 and 2 was like, who founded the North Star, an abolitionist newspaper in Rochester? Answer is Frederick Douglass.
Right.
Then 2017, Rochester, New York affirmed its status as a sanctuary city. What presidential administration sued Rochester for immigration issues? Trump.
Right.
So you definitely got some of the harder ones there. But yeah, thanks for playing. Like I said, I try to make it a little bit different. But the next one will be War. So you beat the first horseman, you got to fight War next. And that will probably be around, I'll just give a hint for everyone. It'll be around Labor Day. So maybe you can see some themes there.
War against the 1%. Got it.
So be ready, be square.
B movie.
Bolt.
All right, y'all. We're good? I think so. We sign off.
Yeah, we gotta say goodbye. I'm waiting for you. This is your stream.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing. Happy 4th of July. Remember all the great things.
We should do this stream, not redo it, but like stream the recording of this on the 4th of July.
I guess you could, but
yeah.
Is there a re-premiere option? I know Twitch lets you do that. Like you can rebroadcast like a stream.
All right, goodbye, everyone.